303-713-TALK. If you have any questions about cremation or funeral services of any kind, now's a good chance to call because you can get any kinds of questions you have answered. Now, we left off with Chris, who has a CPAP machine, and they said it will take a while to get fixed. There's a recall. One of the parts could disintegrate, sending little shrapnel into the airway, basically. I don't know how else to put it. Chris?
Right.
So you're calling because let me see if I have this straight. You can't use yours. They say stop using it, but it may be months before you get a new one.
Yeah, and I do have to use it because I have central sleep apnea, so it's something that I have to use. Mine personally, I don't have all that, shrapnel going through it or anything like that.
Well, not yet. It happens. It doesn't happen. Excuse me. If it either does or doesn't. The way I understood it, it deteriorates over time, right?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
And so you're calling because what? You think they should? What? They can't give you a new one. It's not approved, right? So you can't use the old one. So I'm asking you, what do you want? I don't know what to say. I know you need one. So are you forced to buy another one?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Because they're waiting on FDA approval for this, I guess, new foam.
Why wouldn't your insurance pay for it?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, who paid for your first one? Who paid for your first one?
My insurance paid for my first one.
And why won't your insurance pay for a second one? It sounds to me like you need a second one.
Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
this is something I would have to call my insurance on.
Well, what kind of health insurance do you have?
I have United Healthcare.
And is it through work or is it independent?
Through work.
Okay. I would call them. Hold on. Somebody called in with information. Mike, what kind of information do you have?
I'm also a CPAP user, and I had a Philips that was recalled. Mine happened to be 10 years old. The problem is that the insulating foam gives off a gas, and it doesn't take a long time to break it down. That's a misnomer, and it can disintegrate into microscopic.
Who said it takes a long time to break down?
Well, you guys just mentioned that it takes a while.
I didn't say it takes a while. I said over time. 3 minutes is over time. 5 minutes is over time. It doesn't explode.
Well, no, that's correct.
Yeah.
And we can go around and round about that, but I understand.
We don't have to go round and round. All I said was over time it deteriorates. So that's good to know. I just wanted people to know it doesn't explode. So anyway, thank you very much. What I want to know is what kind of information can we give people when it comes to getting another one? Do you know, Mike, if they give you a new one?
I do know. So Philips has recalled over 10 million of them. They're the largest manufacturer of them. They go back 12 years.
Do they give you new ones?
No, they don't give you new ones because they don't have that many around. So I had to go to CPAP.com. 2 days after I got the letter from my doctor, I realized that the rush was going to be on to buy new ones. They barely had enough to cover the thousands of calls that CPAP got from people. Philips Respironics doesn't have too many replacements. The Respironics.
I understand. When you go there, who pays for it? Your insurance?
I paid for this second one because the insurance takes too long to process it. And I need it just like he does.
Man.
The insurance can take up to 6 months to process it. I don't think Philips will get caught up with this for another year.
So basically what you're saying is, Chris, what I'm hearing is you're going to have to buy your own.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It doesn't sound like much you can do about it. And that's if you can find one. Apparently there's a shortage. Have you gone on to try to find one, Chris?
No, I haven't, but I did find that you can get this inline bacterial filter to filter out any bad that shrapnel or whatever that can get into.
Well, Mike, have you heard about the inline filter that's supposed to help?
That's correct. Yes, there are. It is supposed to help. It depends on how many microns it goes down. The off-gassing, it may take out the particles, but the gas that the foam gives off when the heat builds up, breaks it down, is another issue.
That is an issue.
Why is there such a shortage of them? I don't understand why they can't just build them.
Well, they are building them, but they weren't. Phillips was not prepared. They're the largest manufacturer.
They weren't
in the world,
prepared for the recall.
Company. They weren't prepared for 10 million of them to get recalled.
Yeah. So when 10 million come off the market and you immediately have to do that, that puts a big strain on the supply for sure. That's too bad. I mean, Chris, I guess there's no answer except buy another one. I wish I had better news.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's 50-cent tree sale, starting this Friday, August 20th. Choose from thousands of carry-out-sized trees that are easy to handle and easy to plant. While supplies last, buy the first tree at regular price and mix or match a second tree for only 50 cents. Thousands of shade trees, flowering trees, fruit trees, evergreen trees, ornamental trees, and more. Also, huge savings on shrubs and perennials. The 50-cent tree sale.
Just don't have they don't have a supply of them. I've been waiting 3 months for it. And I called up the supplier. They said, don't even think about it for the next 3 months.
Rocky Mountain IV Medics. I do it monthly. IV therapy is one of the most common therapies there are for dehydration, for when you're not feeling. In fact, you go to an emergency room, one of the first things they give to you, urgent care to you. But you can get it in your home, and it won't cost you any more than going to a regular hydration bar. You know, you've seen these new hydration bars that have popped up. Popping up. Well, why go to one? You can do IV at home, and it won't cost you any more than that. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. Now, here's the great part. You can text or call for same-day appointments. In fact, even within the next hour or so, 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155. Get Found Fast is a search engine optimization company, a digital marketing company, a website company, a company to just help you all the way around with your technology. What I like about Get Found Fast is it will take a free look at your site and give you a complete analysis of what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And it's free. GetFoundFast.com.
Owning a home is rarely been easier or more affordable. And if you're a veteran or on active duty, a VA loan would be the perfect thing for you. This is Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, where I've done 2 mortgages, reminding you that VA loans can provide you with significant monthly and long payments. There's no down payment, there's no mortgage insurance required. They have some of the lowest rates in the industry, and if you already have a home loan, that's no problem. You can refinance any existing mortgage into a VA loan, and you can even access 100% of your home's value, meaning a lot more money for you and your family. So don't wait to take advantage of $1,000 or more maybe in monthly savings, especially with rates still
Is that what it says?
lows. Call American Financing today and get the best deal for your home ownership needs. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or apply online at AmericanFinancing.net.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell. For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home. And when your home sells for more, you keep the difference.
Have you guys thought about this in here, that today we get you covered from start to finish between the dock and the fine folks from Abbott?
For $33,000 above his cash offer. Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more cash at closing. Rudy's story isn't unique. 99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market for more than the cash offer. Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. Takes just a couple minutes and lets you skip home listing hassles. If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost no obligation offer at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again. It's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSconsumerAccess.org under 3030.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Reed Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
This is Kurt Cambier. Go to kurtcambier.com for your free financial portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, Cambier.com. Securities offered to Cambridge Investment Research Inc. and broker dealer member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisor.
God, I'm still getting emails on that horse roundup thing, man.
This report is sponsored by American Financing.
Big cool down for your Thursday. Temperatures in the low 80s, and then we do have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, some of which could become severe with large hail.
So typically,
Fox 31 pinpoint weather team meteorologist Kylie Burke.
don't dig it.
Refinance your mortgage and save $1,000 or more each
I
month
guess so.
without restarting your job. It only takes 10 minutes to get started.
Colorado every year.
369-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net. And in the next one's a border.
Let it go. Well, about a third of them get in the.
Hi, I'm Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. WaterPros.net
A place to go for the best water conditioning systems anywhere. And I'm serious. Computerized, low maintenance, but what's great about them is they're low cost and high quality. That's Paul the Waterman. First of all, he doesn't use fear to sell it. Second of all, it's the best system. So where others start at about $4,000 or $5,000 and go up to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, his whole house conditioning system, full computerized, low maintenance system, is under $2,000 fully installed for the entire house. And he has other systems as well. Full filtration under $2,000. Water fountains or water faucets with pure drinking water for under $1,000. It's unheard of. WaterPros.net. Now, what's going on? Let's talk. And we left off with the CPAP thing. I'm getting a lot of messages on that. And basically, it is what it is. Now, Mike, I hesitate to use the word cure because people hear that and they say, "Oh my God, that's heresy." So, right,
and that's what the doctors told me for years.
Tell me what you're talking about. Tell me what you're talking about.
So I'm going to tell you, I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea. It was bad. I'm talking 100 times an hour I was stopping breathing. My throat was swollen. I had all this inflammation in my nose, and they told me, the only way you're going to survive is if we cut all this out and we put you on this CPAP machine. So I let them do the surgeries. I went into surgery twice. I got the CPAP machine. I couldn't tolerate it. Everything was just getting worse. So then I started reading about this chemical called polyethylene glycol. And it's in everything, Tom. It's in our water. It's in our toothpaste. It's in our food. So what I did is I decided... Can
you say the chemical again for all of my worrywart listeners? What is it?
It's called PEG, polyethylene glycol, and it's in everything. And they're starting to link it to ALS. And what happens is from the time you're a little kid, you start brushing your teeth, and it builds up, and it builds up, and then you become allergic to it, and it causes all these side effects. And nobody can pinpoint it. So let me tell you, I went 3 years, organic food. I filtered my water. I didn't drink pop. I made sure I wasn't getting any chemicals.
So why did you decide that this was the element, though, that causing the problems for you?
I just started learning about health and everything that we eat. And
I get
everything is full
but Mike, with all of what you
chemicals.
did, which is good, what you did with all the organic and all the watching everything, you could have filtered out a lot of other things too. I mean, it maybe wasn't this.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went 3 years and I felt better. So I went and had another test. And when I went to this test, I told nobody that I had sleep apnea from the beginning. I paid for it myself because I didn't want the test cured. They told me I don't even have it. And I was like, there's no way that you could tell me that I don't have sleep apnea because I had 5 other doctors telling me that I'm going to live with it for the rest of my life and I'll never be cured. But I changed my diet. So maybe people need to start there instead of running to the doctors every time. I'm just bringing that up, filter your water. It's in everything, especially your toothpaste.
So it's in toothpaste?
Oh, yeah. It's in everything. It's in your water. They can't filter it out of your water supply unless you go and buy a specific water filter, like a Berkey or something with charcoal filters, and it pulls out the small particles of fluoride because we're being overwhelmed, and people aren't understanding this. And I have my best friend has ALS, and they're starting to link the PEG to ALS. And let me tell you another conspiracy that people might think it's just outrageous. So the vaccine, in order for them to shoot that into your body, they surround the virus with PEG, and then they shoot it in your body, dude. It's diabolical what they're doing. Do the research. You'll find it out for yourself. They're just not telling us.
But, Doc, if you don't know about it, let's not.
I just want to ask one question.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I just want to ask him if his teeth itch.
Well, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, you don't know. Do you know anything about this?
I know that what he's saying about the vaccine is just ridiculous.
Well, how do you know PEG is not in the vaccine?
Because I know it's in the vaccine.
How do you know PEG is not in the vaccine?
Okay.
I'm asking you,
because
do you know
I know
that?
it's in the vaccine.
Do you know? Okay, tell me what's in it then. What's in it?
All right.
Tell me that. I'm not saying it is, but you poo-hoo this guy on the phone. You have no idea what the chemical makeup of that vaccine is. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind giving out information one way or the other, but don't make it sound like you really know. And neither do you. Neither do you. You don't really know that PEG is in the vaccine, Mike. Where did you find that out?
Oh, I've heard from several.
You've heard from several. Okay, so I'm going to give you the same lecture I just gave Deputy Doc. You don't know. Now, it might be in there, but I mean, who knows? I mean, and PEG is, you're right, PEG is in a lot of things. It is. And a lot of people think it's deadly. But in any case, polyethylene glycol, is it in the vaccine? I don't know. I'd like to know. Is it in embalming fluid? No? Okay. I was just wondering. But listen, we hear from all kinds of people on this show. This guy's convinced he cured his sleep apnea. Who the hell knows what else he cut out of his diet and his life? I mean, he sounds like he went on a total health kick.
Yeah, just the health kick probably did.
It could be anything. It could be sheer weight loss that does it. So let's find out. I'm Googling this, if polyethylene glycol and vaccine. I don't know. Let's see. I can't find anything. But in any case, okay, yes. According to, here it is. Here's one from Pfizer. It could be the cause of some anaphylaxis in the Pfizer COVID mRNA vaccine containing PEG. So, I guess there is some in there.
I stand corrected. I apologize.
It is in there. It is in the vaccine. I don't know if it's as deadly as he says, but it is in the vaccine. Polyethylene glycol, and some people who have an allergy toward that cannot get the vaccine. So, anyway, thank you, Mike, for your information. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lifetime Windows and Siding.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, slow traffic into downtown now either direction. This because of an accident southbound I-25 at 23rd Avenue. Rollover involved there. The two right lanes are blocked, and southbound is jamming back all the way to 58th Avenue. And northbound is slow with Curiosity slowing northbound I-25 jamming between Santa Fe and 23rd. Fox 31 pinpoint weather today, a 60% chance for afternoon scattered thunderstorms, a high of 81, an overnight low of 61, and for tomorrow drier with a high of 81. Currently it's 76.
You guys are lucky you don't get complaints from your
Not very often.
And if you do get one, that would
Supporting Denver Zoo conservation programs, Lifetime Windows and Siding makes donations to Food Bank of the Rockies, helping feed our neighbors in need. To show the local commitment, Lifetime is offering 20.
Didn't they used to bury people and then they put like a string or something on a bell?
Excel Roofing. I love talking about Excel, and I love saying it's like excellent, E-X-C-E-L, because of the way they do business. I love the first and foremost mission statement. We don't collect a cent until you're content, or you don't pay a cent until you're content. So whether it's roofing repairs or maintenance or a complete insurance job, you don't pay anything until you're content. And here's the deal. A lot of people are loosey-goosey because they do an insurance replacement. They don't really check the roofer out that much, but you better, because once they pay that money out, they don't pay it again. And we've had plenty of people have their insurance money hijacked because these companies require you sign the check over to them. Excel Roofing will never do that. ExcelRoofing.com. They also do roof repair. So call Excel first, and they'll tell you if it's storm related or not, or tell you what you really need, and they'll give you a full and complete estimate. ExcelRoofing.com. 303-761-6400. I've mentioned Colorado Pain Care before. That's a clinic I go to for pain management. In fact, I'm all but over it, but they're helping me tremendously with physical therapy. That alone has helped me. And then, of course, in the beginning, get me over the hump of inflammation and pain. They did some injections right away and really helped me. ColoradoPainCare.com. That's Colorado Pain Care, and they're also known as Colorado Pain Care Sport because they do concentrate on sports injuries and spinal injuries. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. I saw an 888 up there, and you took it off. So did I just do 2 commercials for nothing? Oh, okay.
Which do you think is better? Although fix it in 888 can't cure a bit, right?
That's right.
Road, it's value. You have no access to the principal, and when you die, the money stops, even if you die tomorrow. So we usually recommend a lump sum. You get to invest the money however you want and generate your own income. You have full access anytime, and whatever's left over goes to your spouse kids. But for someone, the monthly option is better. So you should meet with a financial advisor to be sure that you're doing what's best for you.
That's Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines, with his advice on pensions. If you have a personal finance question, talk to an experienced financial planner at 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
All right, in a futile attempt to fix that, can we do 888?
I don't understand what he's doing.
He wants you to do 888.
I know. Why though? What happened?
I don't know.
What'd you do? What'd you screw up, buddy?
And to maximize your home selling price, but you remain in control. You avoid costly repairs, and you get your own move date. A long-term contract, you can cancel at any time. For example, Jason and Lakewood's father had passed away.
Yes, it is an entity. That's what I thought.
Jim thought about selling it below value, but instead he called Ed. Ed was able to get a cash offer significantly over market value asking price. You know, Ed Prager is the only real estate agent I recommend to trust with this my own home. You should trust Ed Prager too. Call Ed at 720-650-4959. 720-650-4959 or edprager.com. That's EdPrather.com.
All right, check it out. This special is unbelievable. You get a new air conditioner, you get a whole home humidifier On top of that, you get 5 years, 0 interest to pay for it, all starting at $8,500. That's from 888heating.com, and these guys have great service. They got great prices. They're the full package, been on our referral list for over 15 years. Check them out, 888heating.com. That special's going to go away soon. Heating.com.
Hey, Colorado friends.
What's that?
Oh,
do you?
Well, I had a stroke, so she's going to move in, so we got to put an AC and furnace in.
You got to do duct work or no?
It's time to get a free consultation at Colorado's Clear Choice. Our doctors are leaders in restoring oral health and function. Dental implants offer a
I think I could live with my mother-in-law. I couldn't live with my own mother, though, so.
That's assuming that they can live with you.
Yeah.
Which is a story I'm doing.
Yeah.
Take control of your health and gain the freedom to live the life you want. Go to clearchoice.com and schedule your free consultation. Today's the day to get back out there and experience Colorado's amazing food worry-free. Visit clearchoice.com.
Michael Brown here for Alpha One Wealth and Tax. If you're on the cusp of retirement, or maybe you have retirement questions, then pick up the phone right now and call Alpha One Wealth at 833-650-7526 or online alphaonewealth.com.
Let radio advertising keep your business top of mind with customers all summer long. Visit iHeartAdBuilder.com to get your business on the radio quickly and easily. You can even make your own radio ad.
If you listen on the radio, it seems like there's just always going on in it. I don't realize it.
It all depends, too, man. You get some weird calls.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-7-713-8255.
All right, so we had a discussion on this PEG, polyethylene glycol, and apparently it seems like it's antifreeze. And somebody sent this to us, and it says that it is a lipid used as an excipient in both the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines for COVID. And it talks about, it gets too much in. It's encased in a bubble of oily molecules called lipids, and I guess it's for the delivery. Anyway, apparently this stuff is used in a lot of things. And according to one of our callers, it causes everything. There's a problem with it. I mean, it just basically is the root of all evil. But it's definitely in the vaccine. So does that concern you? I mean, before today, I didn't even hear of PEG, or I may have heard of antifreeze.
Yeah, but it's in everything if you start reading about it.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this guy said he cut it out of everything.
I don't know how he did.
But Mark, it is in toothpaste too. I mean, why do they put it in everything? What is so good about it?
I don't know. It's a big-time laxative. Big time.
No, it's in almost every laxative. Polyethylene glycol. So you either use that or you're full of, never mind, let's not go there. Rebecca, what's going on with you? Rebecca, what's happening?
Hey there, Tom. I'm really honestly just trying to find out what options I have in fighting with my HOA. They feel like a little mini dictatorship.
Oh, it is so hard to fight HOAs. Let me just tell you why. Because you're fighting with your own money, and there's no one person at the HOA, not one person who cares. Meaning, they might care, but they don't have. It's not like you're fighting a person. You're fighting a group of people. So there's no one person who takes the hit or gets or is hurt by it. So there's no one to call off the dogs because they're all together. And that's the problem when you have that aggregate kind of pooling of money and then going after a homeowner. Because the homeowner's taking money out of their bank account to pay for their legal fees. Then they're also taking money out of their bank account to pay their HOA fees. Whereas the HOA people don't take anything out of their personal account to fight you. It very seldom do individuals win unless they have a really excellent point of law and stuff. But sometimes you can fight without court and without legal battles if you have a sensible HOA and they say, yeah, we did something wrong, or this is wrong. So let's talk about your particular situation. What did it have to do with?
Yeah, well, I own a condo, which I rent to my son, who's 23. And essentially, the short version of the story is he has a piece of crap truck, but it works. It has, at points, been under repair, and they have cited us for that, which is against the HOA. But they gave us notice. We got it fixed. We moved it. But last night, they just decided to tow his truck after hours with no notice.
Okay, here's bottom line. If the truck, usually when that happens, the truck is usually signed, meaning they don't want business trucks in many of the developments. The other part is it either had an expired tag or it was considered immobile in some way. Were any of these things true?
It did have an expired tag.
Well, that's exactly, okay. They didn't just decide it, by the way. It probably was there a few nights or several nights, and they just got around to it. They didn't just decide it. It's decided in your covenants and in your bylaws. I promise you, Rebecca, without even knowing the subdivision, because I used to be so involved in developing these bylaws and stuff, that I will tell you that there is a clause in there that says if there is an expired tag, they're going to tow it.
Yeah, and I looked that up, and I sent the bylaws to Sue so she could show you if you wanted. But my only problem is...
Well, wait, are you saying that it's not in your Are you saying it's not in your bylaws?
No, it is. It is. And my issue is they gave no notice. So you're saying they don't have to give any notice?
No, I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all. I guess it depends on their own policies. I mean, you would think common decency they would give some notice.
Tommy, I sent you paperwork and email for you to look at the bylaws.
Okay. Where did you send it to, by the way?
I sent it to...
My email, right?
Yeah, it's two attachments. It's not, I mean, it's...
Oh, paperwork for, you did. Got it right here. Okay. So it says, any vehicle left unattended where such vehicle constitutes an obstruction of traffic. A vehicle is so disabled to constitute as obstruction if they're unable to provide, well, anyway, that doesn't apply anyway. So parked illegally.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know, Suze. Does it say anything here about notice? Did you read it over? Because rather than me reading it live on the air, I'm wondering... Full
disclosure, Tommy, I didn't have time to read it, but I will on the break.
I'm just wondering if it says they have authorization. Okay, the Board of Directors is authorized to remove or have removed at their discretion any vehicle from the common areas under any of the circumstances hereunder. So let's say, but it doesn't say anything about notice, but...
Nope.
That's just common decency, you would think. But so tell me, how many, and let's be truthful here, how many nights was he there with an expired tag? Or how many, overnights?
Yeah, he hasn't got a tag for it. He's had it there probably a month or two.
Okay. So what would have happened if they gave him notice?
He could have moved it.
Okay.
He could have called me and said, we need to go to DMV. Like, he's unemployed. He got fired from his job. He's struggling, really, to make ends meet.
I get it. I get it. By the way, I wouldn't bother fighting the HOA because you're going to lose. The cheapest route is to get his truck out of impound and get a registration. I mean, Rebecca, I'm just telling you like it is. I mean, if you want to fight the HOA, I mean, we're talking a lot of money and time. I mean, how much is it going to cost to get it out of impound?
Yeah, we went and got it out of impound this morning, so it wouldn't rack up more fees. It was $350.
And did he get his? Did you get his registration renewed?
Yeah, we're going to do that this afternoon.
How much is that costing?
I don't know yet, but probably it's based on Colorado, $100 or so, $80 or $100.
Now, listen, I'm not telling you what they did is right. There might be a policy somewhere in there. I can't read it everything that requires them to give notice. Did you just call the front desk and say, "Hey, by the way, do you guys usually give notice before you tow?" What did they say?
I have called, and And the thing is, they put a tow tag on it 3 weeks ago for this issue, and we got it taken care of. It. We moved it at the time.
Wait a minute.
Before they...
Whoa. So it was given notice. Wow, that was your notice. It's the same vehicle. It's not a game of tag where you get to move it and then they have to do it again. Then you get to move it and they have to do it again. That's not the way it works. I'm sorry. A misunderstanding. I'm sorry. I can't help you. All right? I may as well just tell you that. Larry, what's going on, Larry?
Yes, I'm 80 years old, and I've got a long-term care policy with Transamerica Insurance Company. I've been paying premiums on it since I was in my 50s.
And now are they turning you down for something?
Yes, they're denying my claim.
All right, hold on, Larry. Hold on. Let's examine this for you.
Tell your smart device to play 630K.
People have long-term care and they can't get it.
Just pay for it forever, man. Maybe Barb Shoe would know something about it.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, we're looking pretty busy right now.
You guys big on different series, TV series?
23rd, it was southbound, and it's still slow from 50.
But we mostly watch British TV.
I love British crap.
That's all I watch is British TV.
Why? I like Australian too.
Their dry sense of humor.
Do you like Australian too?
I do. Yes, absolutely.
Me too. That's so.
All that BritBox and Acorn TV and all of we've got them all.
And you agree with this?
He's
like,
sure, whatever. That's your next great hire. When you sponsor a job,
I still watch Seinfeld every day.
Immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job
couple of
description.
traumatic brain
Visit
injuries,
Indeed.com/.
so it takes me a while to catch up with conversations. And then
K&H Home Solutions has been around for 65 years, basically. They were called K&H Windows in the beginning, and I've known this company from the beginning, and the most durable home improvement company in all of Colorado has the most durable products. I mean, this Everlast siding is unbelievable. You can soak it in water. Listen, this has color through and through. It's a hard polymer. It just is indestructible. I love it. Plus, it's beautiful. Now, listen to this. If you put Everlast siding on your house, you can take $300 off every 100 square feet of siding. They call that a square. So every square you get $300 off. Plus, they're giving 50% off all installation of the siding, windows, and doors. So why don't you take a look at khwindows.com and make your own appointment. You're going to love these products. As I said, the company's 65 years strong, and they do it right with the best warranties in the business. khwindows.com for your home facelift. khwindows.com. Speaking of fixing up your home, what about fixing your home, as in repairs? Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. You can get a tech to your home, licensed and insured, for $39 to check any problem in those areas that they will find, not yet. When they find the problem, they give you a complete full estimate with a price up front. If you decide to have the work done, they credit you to $39. Here's another thing. They have complete new HVAC systems because they've stacked up and stocked up to get around the supply chain shortages if you're thinking about it. And they have them starting with special financing at just $77 a month. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939.
Sandy will most of the show are watching explaining what they're saying. You know, the accent's so bad. It's just all over my head.
Look a page with every word highlighted.
20 years.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, let me take a minute and talk about Blue Sky CBD. It has really been working for my aches and pains. And Blue Sky CBD, the more that I am aware of how much it's helping, the more I like it. And I told you about the balm I've used. I had a shoulder injury recently. I continue to use the balm on my shoulder, and it really helps me. I use tinctures in the morning for clarity, energy, and simple inflammation reduction. But now what I've really liked is the sleep gels. I've always had a problem sleeping, right? But I take one of those sleep gels about 30 minutes before bed, and honestly, it has really helped me relax and sleep. Also, let me talk about the Pro Gels, which are designed for athletes to use pre and post workout. It really creates great energy boost. You get 30% off your first order with using the promo code KHOW, K-H-O-W. And there are things in there that I really believe will like and will help you. 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. It is Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cbd.com.
With all the recent huge changes in our economy, this is a really important time to pay attention to your spending and your savings. Don't waste money, and very importantly, don't turn your head on ways that you could save. For example, a mortgage refinance. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing, reminding you that a mortgage refinance is more than just a lower interest rate. It's also an effective way to eliminate high-interest debt. You're able to pull out cash from your home equity so you can pay off credit cards, personal loans, whatever you need. You'll typically receive not only a much lower rate, but also...
Man, what'd you think of Talib's freaking back, dude? That was horrible.
Oh, you mean his pain?
Holy shit, man. I've known that dude forever and a day. I've never seen him in pain like that. It was kind of shocking, actually. Man. And he still didn't look old, though, you know. But I bet if he doesn't get that fixed, man, overnight he'd look old.
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash. Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing.
What is it?
All the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take the so when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often.
Oh, that's the
Discover.com/yes.
The bomb.
Yeah. Limitations apply.
630 KL. 1970 white Ford Bank. You know, we wouldn't mind losing
E150.
Hi, Tom Martino here,
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, let's talk and see what we can do for you. First of all, we do have Abbott Funeral Services with us, abbottfuneralservices.com. Where are you located?
We are in the southeast
You can move
Aurora.
that mic way over, just anywhere you need it.
Yeah, we're in the southeast Aurora area near Tower and Hampton.
Okay, so when people, you have an incredible product for complete cremation for $850.
$895.
$895. That's an incredible price for people who are in need or anybody. That's a good price. So if people need to get in touch with you, when do you become involved? At what point?
Normally we can come in when somebody's pre-planning as well. They can pre-plan with us a future service for themselves.
I understand, but I'm talking about like a sudden need. When do you get involved? Somebody dies. I mean, I know this is kind of weird, but when do you get involved?
Immediately.
So people don't understand this. When somebody dies, if you notice your husband is not waking up, your wife's not waking up, it's a terrible thing, somebody dies.
Correct.
Do you call the coroner? Who do you call right away?
Immediately you would call your local EMT. So call 911.
Right, to make sure they're passed, right?
Correct. And then they will send out a paramedic or someone of that sort. And then if the paramedic cannot get any life response, the coroner then determines death.
Does the coroner come to the house?
Not normally, no.
Okay, so the EMT talks to him and they do a time of death?
Yes.
Do the coroner take the body?
No.
And then do they call you?
Yes.
And then you take the body?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
God, I always thought the coroner kind of handled that.
No, I guess no. You know, that's why I asked. You know, it's really something you don't talk about every day. Anyway, we have more coming up. If you have any questions, I'll take all of your calls too. 303-713-TALK.
Management, will they handle it?
Yeah.
You don't know
Only if you don't want to.
What? You don't know what. I mean, I never knew what's your way.
My inclination would be to call the police.
So what? So the EMT
Right,
or
I mean, if I
whoever
found a
shows
dead
up,
body,
and then they call the coroner
Yes.
and kind of just report it. Then do they tell the people there, okay, you need to call? I mean, like who informs them? The EMT guy? Okay, you need to call funeral home. You need
Normally
to...
the coroner will do that.
Oh, okay.
Because they can't release somebody until the coroner signed off that there's been a death.
Now, how about if it's like a homeless person or something? Does the coroner take that body?
Yes, they
Okay.
take all indigents and they take suspicious deaths.
There you go. They would take you.
yeah.
They might take you right now.
So, like, if there's an indigent, the coroner will take them in, and then they will spend the next 10 to 14 days locating family members if possible.
If possible.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
And then taxpayers pay for the funeral, most likely.
Yes, it becomes a ward.
#1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
Then they're released.
$1,200 they pay.
They will pay up to $1,500. And you'll see a lot of funeral homes. They'll have little things on their stuff that says, like, ours doesn't have it, but on their price list it says that they've got a little asterisk next to it. It'll say they'll charge $1,500 if you're an indigent.
Do they have, didn't we just authorize in Colorado some new, kind of like turning you into slime or something?
Yes.
Something, what?
Basically, they compost you.
Okay.
So they put you into a geodesic dome, and you're put in there with a bunch of probiotics and things and bacteriums.
Wow.
And it's a heat process, but it's really extremely complicated, and I don't know how we're going to do it.
How long does it take?
Well, they're saying a month, but
Oh my goodness, why would you? But you're not going to be in there with other people, or you would be?
just alone.
For a month?
But the problem is, at the end, you end up with almost an entire truck bed worth of dirt. So the family has to get rid of yards.
What would they? Why did this even come about? What was the whole purpose?
They thought that it would be a little bit less environmentally effective if they didn't have like the smoke from the cremation.
So what do they do with the dirt? I mean, the family would like
The family
plant a
has to
tree,
take-
or
And you can use it for anything except for food.
so you couldn't. I wonder why that would even matter. I mean, is
Right.
there stuff in it that would?
No.
Yeah, they just don't.
They don't
freeze them
allow
out.
it. Yeah.
I told my son to just bring a baggie, like, you know, one of those Ziploc bags. Put my ashes in it, we'll be fine.
There you go. See?
That's amazing to me, actually. So they kind of, it is like a compost,
And exactly that. It started in
and
Washington.
it's all because of environmentalists.
Yes. It's all the green stuff moving forward.
God, that's so odd, though. It doesn't seem like, geez, a month in one place. If it really did catch on, I mean, you'd have to have such a facility. It would be unbelievable.
And you have to open and turn the compost.
Did they actually pass it now in Colorado, though?
Yes.
So you can cremate, you can bury. What do they call that?
Composting.
Composting, and then what else? Is there anything else?
The one with the water.
Oh, alkaline hydrolysis.
What the heck is that?
They put you in a chemical slurry, and it basically dissolves your body. Yeah.
You know, like they do on Dexter, right? When they want to get rid of the bodies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is there anything left?
A 5-gallon bucket of goo.
And what do you do with the goo?
Get rid of it, plant it, do something with it.
Oh my God! And that's it. So those 4 methods.
Mm-hmm.
But as a funeral home, we would be stuck with it. If the family didn't come get it, we would be stuck with
the goo.
Yeah, or the 3 cubic yards of
For
dirt.
how long?
Perpetually, we have to keep hold of it.
We don't why. Because somebody may show up at some point.
It's just the rules.
That is the
We
rules.
got a couple of indigents in our attic.
Yeah,
You know,
probably got a couple dozen with us right now.
Every now and then a family show up and want them. You know, they see it on their webpage or read it.
They got to be there forever.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, if you go out of business, what do you do?
That's a good question.
We can pay to have them interred at a place that they can get them back.
That's almost like.
Well, then you set up quite an obligation for yourself.
Yes. Absolutely. We would have to pay for the internment, and we have to keep a log of that somewhere.
What does that mean, internment?
They have to be buried in a manner to which they could be
To me,
reclaimed.
that could be very expensive.
It is.
So what do you plan? Do you plan on that? What do you
No.
do?
Well, eventually we'll buy a vault somewhere and put everybody in the vault, and then
if anybody ever
they can open the vault and take out, you know. But a whole bunch of funeral homes will all get together and do it when we, you know, when everybody has a couple hundred boxes.
Okay. So they just passed this thing where you can basically decompost it, and when you're done,
That's the slurry you was talking about?
no, that's a different one. But then you're what, 3 yards of dirt, you said?
3 cubic yards.
Of dirt.
That's a lot of dirt.
That's a lot of dirt.
And that's amazing to me, it's that much dirt, actually.
It is.
But it can take a month. So imagine if you're a funeral home.
I would thought it would take longer, actually.
Well, they're saying it's going to take a month. Washington has proved that it's going to be closer to 3.
See, but each person is in their own little dome. I mean, imagine just the showroom or whatever you want to call it, the warehouse space you'd have to have.
Yes.
And then I'm kind of picturing like these restaurants have those dome tents, something
It's a
like
lot
that.
like that, yeah. There's these little slots in them that they do it in. But the cost would be astronomical. I can't even imagine what you would have to charge for that.
It's more green because you're not, you know, there's no incinerator. My wife wants to be made into a diamond. There's some company that does
You
that.
guys do this?
Well, we scoop the brain out and send it off.
So you guys do the cremation, and then you send the remains off, and they press it or do whatever they do.
Just part of it.
Just, the brain.
The brain is what's turning into the diamond.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah, during the middle of the cremation, I scoop it out.
Is that a big, people do that a lot?
Not too much.
So, but why the brains? I don't understand.
I don't know.
That's just what they use.
So you send that company the brains, and then
just a little scoop of brain.
And then what do they do? Do you have any clue?
What
How would they take that matter and turn it into a?
They don't turn that into diamond. They mix it with something that's going to be a diamond anyway.
Yeah.
There's a process right now for making diamonds. So all they do is
just add that.
Adulterate that mixture. That's what they're doing. There's nothing you're made of that could be.
Brains is so much.
Yeah, that's why probably they do it because it's easiest to dissolve in the to make the diamond.
Because it's all fat, it's all lipid material.
Yeah, it's all mush.
Gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And one of the things I love doing is, of course, giving people a lot of information on great companies as well. And I can't help but tell you about Silverleaf Mortgage. If you need a reverse loan, Silverleaf Mortgage is there for you. And they have a nonprofit foundation even that helps you fix up your home to get ready for a reverse loan. So they do it with no interest or low interest or even a grant depending on your need. But if you're looking for a reverse loan, this company does reverse loans and will counsel you through the whole process. And that is 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE. All right. I want to go to the phones and see what's going on in your life. Larry. What's going on, Larry? What's happening? You said you're 80 years old and you're getting denied for long-term care that you've paid on for years. Now that troubles me. What I need to know is, do you actually have a claim for long-term care right now? Are you in long-term care?
I have a home health care company called Visiting Angels that assists me with bathing and dressing and my house, keeping my house,
yes,
stuff like that.
And who pays for that? Who pays?
I've been paying it because Transamerica says that you've got to pay them out of your own pocket for the first 10 days before the insurance kicks in. Well, that's been 90 days ago. So, but they keep denying my claim, claiming that I haven't satisfied 2 ADLs.
Okay, what have you not? Well, first of all, Larry, what's the name of the company? What's the name of
Transamerica?
Transamerica. Okay. Does Transamerica, they're saying to you, you did not satisfy, and then they gave you a section number or a paragraph number?
They said I haven't satisfied the 2 activities of daily living that are necessary for them to pay the claim.
That's right. You have to not be able to do a certain amount of daily activities. So
right.
What is it that they say you still can do that is preventing your long-term care?
They said I have to have help putting on my, I have a fractured T9 vertebrae and COP so bad I can hardly breathe. I'm on oxygen 24/7. But they said I failed to, they help me shower. Visiting angels help me in and out of the shower so I don't fall. And I have to sit.
You know, Integra sells that product, man. They probably know a lot about it.
That's why I'm going to talk to him right now. Jared is on. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's talk to Jared. Jared is with Integra Health, and we love Integra Insurance. They're really good people, and they do health insurance, and they do long-term care. Jared, have you heard of Transamerica?
Yes.
Okay. Is that one of the products you sell?
No, but I have heard of them, yes.
Okay. Am I wrong in saying that Integra Insurance sells long-term care or not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Now, what are usually the life tasks you can't do, you're unable to do that would qualify you?
Well, it depends on the policy, right? It depends on what they chose. Now, there are some limitations to their policy, and they need to look up those limitations.
Okay. Larry, do you know specifically what limitations you're supposed to have? You're supposed to have 3 of them, right?
2 out of 6 activities of daily living.
Okay, so the 2 out of 6 that they... What are the... So they're saying that you don't have 2 out of 6.
Right. They say I can only satisfy 1. The bathing, they said I don't satisfy bathing because rather than
you need help with bathing. So therefore they're disqualifying you. You need help with bathing. That's good. But now they're saying you don't need help with one other.
Dressing. Well, they say dressing will satisfy their ADL, but the other ADL,
the bathing won't.
They claim it's bathing, but they said the reason I don't qualify is that I could sponge bathe by myself, which I cannot do.
Okay.
And
okay.
They keep saying, yeah, you said you can sponge bathe, and I told them that yes, I can sponge bathe, but I need help from my home health care company. And of course, they left that out, saying that, well, if you sponge bathe, you don't meet the bathing section of the policy.
You have to meet any 2 items that you can't do qualifies you. Is that usually how it works, Jared?
Yes. But he can also appeal the denial and get it in writing so a doctor can help him out.
Oh, that's it.
Did you appeal it, Larry?
My doctor yes, I've appealed it 6 different times now.
And each time do they come back with the same thing, the sponge bathing?
Yeah. And my doctor even sent him a letter saying, yes, Larry Larson does qualify for long-term care insurance, and he does need help with bathing and dressing. Well, they said, now they're saying they need more information. So my doctor sent him 130 pages of my medical history, and still now they're saying they need more information from my doctor, and my doctor's at his wit's end. He said He sent them everything I have.
Jared, here's the problem with long-term care and why more people don't buy it. Right here is because they make you write a novel and they exhaust you. They exhaust you.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to exhaust me. So
but Jared, Integra Insurance Group would not represent a company, I don't think, that they knew would do this. And so, what have you heard of people having hard times like this, Jared?
Yes, I have. With long-term care, definitely. Now, you need to appeal a grievance. Who's it with? With the caller. I don't think it's a division of insurance, but we can get. Well, let me do some more research.
Yeah, I've already appealed to the Colorado Division of Insurance.
You did, Larry? You already appealed to them?
Yes, and I sent them all the records and denials of claims.
And what did they? And what did they say?
Well, they said it looks like you should get your claims paid, but now I haven't heard anything more from them for 2 weeks, so I don't know.
So, Larry, I would follow up with the DOI. They will help you out.
Okay, he's thinking that they can. He's thinking he can get you help, Larry.
Okay.
I mean, why don't we at least give it a chance and see if maybe Jared can help you at least go to the right place to get this done? You say you appealed to the Department of Health and or Insurance Division of Insurance, and you're telling me they said, "Oh yeah, you should get it," but they're not doing anything to help you. Is that what you said, Larry?
Well, they might be, but I haven't been. They don't. I've left messages and I can't.
How long have you been trying in total to? How long have you been trying in total to get this in-home or this long-term care?
Since May 7th.
Okay, well that's way more than 2 weeks. Okay, so you've been trying for a while. And you keep coming up empty. So what we're going to do is put you in.
This could be a good one for Doc, honestly.
Yeah, but Jared's in the business.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No, he's only been with the insurance for 2 weeks, with the insurance commission for 2 weeks.
Have you been at the Division of Insurance has only had your information for 2 weeks?
No, they've had my information since, May 7th.
Okay, so where'd you get 2 weeks? Okay, here, Josh, what information do you have? Go ahead, sir. What do you have?
Hey, Tom, here's what he needs to do. He needs to read his policies and read the specific ADLs and their definition. Because a lot of times what long-term care insurers do is their policy will say dressing is defined as taking on and off all articles of clothing a majority of the time. So they might come back and say, hey, you need help dressing, and we get that your doctor said that, but we don't believe it's a majority of the time. Majority of the time is defined as over 51% of the time. Sounds silly, but that's the way it is. So you write that. You write that and have your doctor sign the letter that says this patient needs help dressing a majority of the time. Bathing might be things like getting to and from the bathroom. It might be hands-on. It might be standby. So you have to read the exact definition of the ADL because it is different for every policy. And then when you talk to the insurance company, you have to be very generic. So when the insurance company says, what do you need help with? I need help dressing. Not, I need help putting on my shoes or putting on a shirt. It's, I need help dressing. Because they are looking for any reason to deny you. But all that information from your doctor might tell him that you need the help, but they might be leaving out something that the ADL requires. So I'm happy to give Suzanne my number off the air, and he can give me a call.
Why do you know all this? Why do you know all this?
We used to be on your referral list with Amada Senior Care, and that's our niche in the market is long-term care claims, advocacy, and...
Do you still do that, Josh?
We do.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I'm not as involved as anymore as I used to be. I think you met with Ken Jensen once.
Man, it sounds like we need you around. Hold on a second. Suze, why don't we also give him Josh's number, too, because Josh says he can help. That's wonderful.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, and we really mean it. Here's what we say. If you want to get a loan ideal for you, you call Ideal Home Loans. First and foremost, the interest rate guarantee. You don't get better than that. If rates go down even further after you close, they refinance you free of charge. You can call for details, but it lasts 2 years. They only have to go down 0.75%. Then they have credit optimization. Even though you're approved at a certain credit, they can get you even better credit by legally tweaking your credit report. Like, for example, paying down a credit card or correcting years on the job or something simple. And then they tweak your credit. And in addition to that, you can pick your own term loan, which is, of course, getting the same low rate but not going back to 15 or 30. What else can they do? Of course, you can also get a pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. I mean, you're approved for the money. It's not a qualification. It's an approval with the money set aside for you. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000, 867-7000. Blake Harris Law is one of the most dependable experts we have on all kinds of information estate-related. If you need help with an estate plan, you can ask Blake all of your questions at 833-ASK-BLAKE. He'll answer you. He only charges you for what he actually does. Flat rates for a will or for a trust or maybe a beneficiary's deed or whatever else you need. Call Blake. You won't be sorry. You'll love him as your expert. Everyone needs an estate plan. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
You're working from home and now you need a bigger home for that office and your family. Michael Brown here, and I recommend that you talk to Ed Prather and Ed Prather Real Estate. Ed Prather's proprietary marketing system guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value or more, or Ed's going to sell your home for free. His home selling program is designed to create bidding wars and to maximize your home selling price. You remain in control, avoiding costly repairs, and you pick your own move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. I'll give you an example. Kale and Karen in Centennial. They needed to move to Colorado Springs, but they were concerned about affording the move. They needed to maximize their equity to afford the new place. Ed Prather made it happen. Ed Prather is the only real estate agent I recommend and trust with the sale of my own home. You should trust him too. Call Ed Prather at 720-650-4959, 720-650-4959, or edprather.com. That's EdPrather.com.
Hey, let me take a minute and talk about Blue Sky CBD. It has really been working for my aches and pains. And Blue Sky CBD, the more that I am aware of how much it is helping, the more I like it. And I've told you about the balm I've used. I had a shoulder injury recently. I continue to use the balm on my shoulder, and it really helps me. I use tinctures in the morning for clarity, energy, and simple inflammation reduction. But now what I've really liked is the sleep gels. I've always had a problem sleeping, right? But I take one of those sleep gels about 30 minutes before bed, and honestly, it has really helped me relax and sleep. Also, let me talk about the Pro Gels, which are designed for athletes to use pre and post workout. It really creates great energy boost. You get 30% off your first order with using promo code KHOW, K-H-O-W. And there are things in there that I really believe you will like and will help you. 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. It is Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cbd.com.
Michael Brown here from my friends at TNT Floorworks. You know, TNT Floorworks is your one-stop shop for all of your flooring needs. Just select the floor that you want, and TNT does the rest. They deliver and install the product you choose. All you have to do, admire the beauty of your new floors. Mention me, Michael Brown, and you get your new hard surface floors at wholesale prices with no markup. Visit TNTFloorworks.com. That's TNTFloorworks.com, where they always do a dynamite job.
Hey, it's that time of year again. The big storms are going to start rolling through Colorado, and if you experience some damage to your roof, let Advanced Exteriors come out, give you a free, no-obligation hail damage inspection, which includes your roof, your windows, and also a siding assessment as well. They're experts at handling your insurance paperwork. Delaying your repair could also cost you thousands of dollars, so get a hold of them today, 303-756-ROOF. Advanced Exteriors, providing you peace of mind.
It's Colin Coward. Here's what's trending from iHeart Sports Network, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
At Broncos training camp, cornerback Patrick Surtain participated in today's practice after sitting out yesterday with a slight leg irritation. The Rockies get a much-deserved day off after completing the sweep of the San Diego Padres. They'll resume action at Coors Field tomorrow when they begin a 3-game weekend series against the Diamondbacks. And following the advice of his lawyers, Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer is pleading the Fifth and not testifying in his accuser's domestic violence restraining order hearing. I'm J.D. Halfren.
The compact GLA proves it's not the size of the SUV in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the SUV. Learn more now about the nimble and ready-for-anything Mercedes-Benz vehicle at MBUSA.com.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
I'll be in D.C. Ryan has the show. Should the U.S. military be allowed to use whatever force is necessary to get all Americans and our Afghan helpers out of Afghanistan? And does the world now see that Biden has lost his ability to function as president? Join Ryan at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One clear choice, garage doors for all of your garage door needs. If you need a garage door, if you need any component, oneclearchoicedoors.com. You'll get all pricing on that website, along with pricing, of course, and what you're doing. So 24/7 emergency service for like springs. If you want a new door, they can do it. If you need just an opener, you can do it. I've used them 5 or 6 times or more, actually. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Great garage door people. Now, Sharon, what's going on with you, Sharon? What's happening? How can we help you?
Hey, Tom. I am scheduled to go on a trip with my mom and a church group to Spain and Portugal, and then a one-day trip into France. And I went on the State Department's website, and all of those are coded red for do not travel unless it's essential. I called the travel agent coordinating the trip, and they said, well, we haven't heard anything, so the trip is still on, and if you cancel, you lose your money. And until we get word from the airline or from the other tour agency, you can't get a refund.
Wait a minute.
So I'm just wondering if that's normal.
The country is coded as being dangerous, but yet you're saying the airlines don't recognize it unless what? Unless something is canceled? I don't get it. I don't get their reasoning. Is the State Department saying you should not travel there?
The State Department has it coded red, and it says only essential travel.
Right. Well, that to me should be enough.
What country is it?
It's Spain, Portugal, and France.
Okay, but why is your tour? Is it your tour company giving you the hard time? Who's giving you the hard time?
Well, I called my tour coordinator, and he's the one that said, well, we haven't received any official notification that we can't
Why isn't he looking up?
Hold
on. The official notification. What are you looking at to see that official notification? You're looking at
the State Department website.
Okay, well then that's their official notification. So I don't get it. I don't even understand what they're talking about.
I don't either. That's why I'm calling you. I thought maybe you would have.
Okay, what did you say to them? I don't know if this is just too obvious, but did you say to them, by the way, did you read the State Department's website, or did you go there? That's official word from the government.
I did tell them that. I said, have you looked at the State Department's website?
And what did they say?
They said, we have not been notified.
Oh, this is... What do you mean not notified?
I don't know. And this is
they don't have to knock on their door and say, "Oh, by the way, do you have anyone traveling here?" That's what they do. They publish things like that.
Right. And in his words, he said, "Until the airline tells us we cannot fly you there."
Okay. Well, then that's a good point. What is the airline saying?
I have not called the airline.
See, they're not saying essential travel only. Are they saying that your tour is essential travel?
That I don't know.
I would contend. Did you pay this by credit card?
It says, listen to this, man. I'm on the website. Spain, level 4, do not travel. Do not travel to Spain due to COVID-19. Exercise increased caution in Spain due to terrorism and civil unrest. I mean, it says do travel.
Yeah, but is it due to COVID?
I just read you. It's due to both those things.
Yeah.
It says do not travel to Spain due to COVID-19. It says that. Big, bold, red letters. It's pretty wild. But as long as the airlines are flying, they're not going to refund her money. So that's the deal.
Right. And it's Delta Airlines that's flying. And it's I'm just concerned. My mom's 86, and everybody in this group is going to be in their 70s and 80s. I'm the youngest one going.
Okay. Listen, there's something wrong here. Did you pay by credit card?
I did not.
How did you pay? How did you pay?
By check.
God, who would ever do that in today's world? Who would ever? If you had paid by credit card, this would be a slam dunk. We need someone. Okay, Deputy Doc, can you call her tour company and say, "Listen, morons, we're reading it right on the internet. Do not travel." I mean, the airline might be flying there for essential people, but the tour is not essential. You see, that's what they're trying to hook her on, until the airline tells us. Well, what do you mean until the airline tells you? Well, you know what? Maybe you should get the airline to tell you that only essential travel. I mean...
And I talked to my tour guide, because he's kind of like the middleman. He's coordinating the flight and then the tour once we're over there. And so he's working with the airline and another tour company. And he said, until they call it off, it's a go. And it's like, aren't they reading the same thing I'm reading?
I'm reading different places. Like Italy is level 3. It says reconsider. A lot of places like Germany are level 2, meaning, watch it. So the red ones seem to be like, don't go there.
But are yours red?
Oh, yeah.
Hers. Yours are red.
Spain is.
Yes.
But they're refusing to see it.
I asked him that, and he said, I can only go by what my connections are telling me. And that if you cancel, you lose your money. And we have to wait for them to cancel before you can get your refund.
And who's them?
The airline and the other tour company he's working with.
Is this what you're hearing from your broker?
From the person that's coordinating the tour. And he's going on the tour also.
Is he going?
Yeah.
So it's still open if you wanted to go?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then why, if it says essential only, Mark, or not, don't go, why is this guy still going?
Well, I don't understand.
I don't know.
Where's the funnel of information as far as when the State Department says, do not go? How is that information?
Well, why don't you ask him? Why is he still... Wait. Why is this guy still going?
Because he has not received word from the airline or the connection he has for the tour in Spain and Portugal. He has not heard from those connections that the trip is off.
But he should be calling them saying, I want the trip off, because he's the one putting this together.
He probably can't get refunds at this point. I mean, let's get real. I would assume he can't get any of his money back, so he's kind of stuck like she is.
And he's working with a third party. I'll try to figure it out.
He's the one saying to her, I can't get a refund because they haven't canceled. He hasn't called them and said, we want to cancel because the State Department is saying, do not travel. Why doesn't he go and tell those, not wait for them to cancel, but he is a tour. He goes and says, by the way, the State Department says we shouldn't come, so we're not coming. Give our money back.
That makes sense to me.
See, Doc, her tour broker, that guy, he's the one that has to push for the refund, not her.
Right.
And he has to say, hey, this is a pandemic still. They will not let us fly, or they're telling us not to fly.
This world we live in now is just crazy.
You know what?
Hell,
Anyone who books a tour is crazy.
I'll get the info from
Anyone
her
in the
and
world
follow
who
up.
books a tour or books a trip like this is crazy.
Do you see this?
Well,
I think we're here to stay, don't you? Honest to God.
I know we're here to stay. I've said that before. I said it in the very beginning. And the power it's all here to stay. It's never going back to the way it was. And these large venues are gone for good. And these tours, I think cruise ships should crash and burn. I don't mean with people on them. I think the industry. The industry should crash and burn. Cruise ships should be a thing of the
for
past.
their business.
And so should tour guides and tours. Who in their right mind would ever do a tour in their entire life? Just book a flight and do your own damn thing. Who cares about these stupid tours?
It's a whole new world, man.
Will you ever book another one in your life, Sharon?
Well, I'll tell you what. This tour was originally slated for last year, and it got canceled last year and postponed to this year. And things were going great until this week, because it didn't go red until this week. And
well, this might just handle itself then.
Yeah, why don't we give the guy a chance? But I want Deputy Doc to call him, okay? So hang on.
I'll get the info.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, southbound I-25 traffic slow from 58th to 23rd from an earlier accident that sat in traffic for a while. It's all cleared now. And now you have some slower traffic.
It's just going to be a whole different deal. I remember the good old days where you could go somewhere and do shit. We'll be telling our grandchildren shit like that. I remember these things called concerts.
An overnight low of 61 and for Friday, drier with a high of 81. Currently at 76. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630.
And I really wish I did have a crystal ball. Like 2 years from now, at some point, COVID will be gone. At some point. But look at some of the big shit over, we can't have cancer yet, right?
ExcelRoofing.com as an excellent, if you need roof repair, roof replacement, insurance or otherwise, call Excel Roofing. Why do I say that? Because it's the very best company for your safety. They don't collect a dime until you're very happy. The official saying is you don't pay a cent until you're content. 303-761-6400. Excel Roofing has more than 30,000 satisfied customers, and they've been in business a very long time. I've known them. They were the first company on my referral list at referralist.com, the first roofer. And you know what? The three most common answers to a question, how do you keep your whole house cooler? One is air conditioner, evaporative cooler, whole house fan. The most important is an attic fan first to keep your attic cool, and then everything else falls into place. Excel Roofing can talk to you about an attic fan or any other part of the roof system. ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400. That's 303-761-6400. Now, let's talk about that valuation Frank Duran does. Why would you need it? Well, a lot of people want to know what their house is worth. So they think appraisal might do that. It won't, because your house is worth what someone will pay for it, and now people are paying more than an appraisal. Frank knows that because he's just closed a bunch of houses, and he'll impart that knowledge to you. So you'll get a true value of your home based on his 26 years of experience. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. It's free and it's totally extensive. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
During these times, which is why they are making car buying easier than ever right from your home. You can pick out your car right from the Sharp & Ride's website, get credit approved, finance, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharp & Ride is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpandrides.com. It's cars under $10,000 and even 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpandrides.com.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hill with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loan, high interest rate debt, or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. When selling your home, you want to be certain that you will put the most money in your pocket. Hi, Marty Lenz here, and my realtors Dan and Sarah with the Ribble Group, Keller Williams Realty PTC, knows that every situation is different for each individual homeowner. Learn how the Ribble Group can help you maximize the sale of your home. You've heard me talk about the zero commission program where the buyer pays all of the commissions, saving you as the seller thousands of dollars. You've also heard me talk about their 24-hour cash offer program and how they will guarantee to sell your home at 100% of your list price or pay you the difference. Listen, Dan and Sarah are getting their sellers top dollar every single day, and they will find the best program that works for you. Call the Ribble Group today at 855-407-SOLD, 855-407-SOLD. That's 855-407-SOLD. Visit online at GAYE-HasTheBuyers.com, GAYE-HasTheBuyers.com. The Rockies have been hot at home this season with a lot of walk-off wins, but sadly, summer is winding down.
Have you guys been to a game or anything? Nothing?
No. So get these hot tickets before they're gone at Rockies.com/tickets.
Tune into the Mortgage Doctor this and every weekend. When it's time to buy a new home, lower your house payment, consolidate your debts, he is the Mortgage Doctor and the go-to guy in Colorado. The Mortgage Doctor Show, Saturday mornings at 6 and Saturday afternoon at 3.
When you live in Colorado, it's not when your roof is going to get hit with hail or damaging high winds. But don't worry, we have Golden Spike Roofing. Call for a free roof inspection and know this. If you have an insurance claim, there is no one better than Golden Spike Roofing to help you out. Call 303-942-1386 or find them online at goldenspikeroofing.com. Golden Spike
Denver's talk station, uploaded everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Now #1 for podcasting.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, let's talk to Bill. Bill, what's happening, sir? Bill? Hi, what's happening? Aspen Flying Club, or Executive Aviation. Now, Aspen would be, to me, the one I'd go to first. Executive is okay. I think it's more for more advanced, but they're both good, and they're both at Centennial Airport. Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have something. I'm just not familiar with the Rocky Mountain Metro, with the airport, what's on there. But, you know, geez, I'm sure they do. And I could ask some of my friends and find out. I do, let's see, there are usually flight schools at any, you know, regional airport like that, but I don't know. I don't know of any personally. I'm looking on the website they have and see if it rings a. Okay, I don't know them personally, but if you want recommendations, I mean, see, I don't know. I can find out which one of those. You know, if Rocky Mountain is the same one, I mean, that's been there a long time. I don't know if it's the same one. You're saying that it was listed, because years ago, when I first came to Colorado, there was a Rocky Mountain Flight School out of Jeffco that I went to, and I would be amazed if it's the same one, but I mean, so it's, I'm looking at it right now. I just want to see who the principals are. Okay? Yeah, let me see. I'll tell you that in a second. I'm looking at the instructors. Yes, I've heard of them. Yes, these guys are all right. Rocky Mountain is good. Out of that
Metro airport, they're pretty good people. Yep.
Could I ask you, when you get started in that, in general, Reader's Digest version, are you in ground school for 2 months?
Okay, well, here, let me explain this to you quickly, okay? So what they say is you need a minimum amount of flight time, and the only reason, there is no technical requirement for a ground school. The only reason people go to a ground school is to pass the written. Once you pass the written, okay, there's a written for each phase. So let's say your private license. You need to pass a written exam. It's about however many questions, 60 questions, all multiple choice, okay? So in order to get ready for that, you don't want to just cram to pass the test, but you want to understand what's going on. So nowadays, though, there are so many good online flight schools. My goodness, that, you know, there really are. Like Sporty's, there's a place called Sporty's Flight Shop, which is an online store to buy things. It has a wonderful array of classes you can take, ground school, okay? And they have one for the private pilot. So that would be one. Another one would be the King Flight Schools, okay? And what you do is you buy a package, you get a log on, and to me that's way better than going to a class or a ground school, and here's why. You can play it at your leisure, and then you can repeat it and repeat it again. It's wonderful. I mean, so I would do online flight school. And again, the only reason for the flight school in reality is to pass the written, but people want to learn. You want to understand what you're doing. So that was what I would do, either Sporty's Pilot Shop, and it's sportys.com, or I would go to King Flight Schools. Google that. Those are the two best as far as online flight schools. And that's for ground school. And then what happens is you need enough of that to pass your written. After you pass your written, you have 2 years to do your flight, to do all of your flight stuff. For your flight stuff, I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest. You need about 40 hours of flight time. Some of that will be solo, some of that will be instruction, roughly half and half. And then you have to do, but the instructor will lay it out. But that's really what it is. And it's a bunch of fun. So it's not brain damage. You can, if you take it one step at a time, anyone can do it. That's really what it is. A lot of
help. I appreciate it.
Oh, and the cost when I was doing it back in the day was about $2,500 from beginning to end. But man, could that have been more expensive now? Maybe I'm thinking $7,000. It could be a little more. But those flight schools
end up with your private pilot lesson.
Do yourself a favor though, and go and do some online ground school, and then to bone up before you do your first introductory flight. Then after you take a few lessons, go back to the ground school. It's good to do both back and forth. Anyway, just feel free to call us back if you need help. 303-713-8255. We have an update on Cinebad Auto from yesterday. That's going to be interesting. Coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Spa Palace.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, looking slow on southbound I-25 from 38th Avenue on down to 6th Avenue. And that is some heavy traffic through there, also impacting your drive along eastbound 6th Avenue on the ramp there, trying to get on to southbound I-25. I-70.
You told me to tease you guys.
It's a good one. It will be interesting.
Okay.
It will be interesting, Doc.
It always is when I'm involved.
And for Friday, drier with a high of 81 expected. Currently it's 79. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 8
Spa Palace for 37 years has been the trusted source for all your hot tub and swim spa needs. Spa Palace offers the trusted brand Hydro Pool Swim Spas.
You guys need anything? Water, coffee, something?
Like snack, we have some nut bars.
Colorado Pain Care is a place where you can get relief for pain, and they start immediately. They have trigger point injections and things to help you seriously over the hump, I say. It's not meant to be permanent. And they give you immediate relief, followed by physical therapy if you need it, or and most likely you do. And then they have other more invasive therapies, less invasive therapies, spinal cord stimulators. They have nerve blocks. They have what you need, because no one should have to live in pain. And Colorado Pain Care Sport and Spine is dedicated to getting you out of pain and dealing with all major insurance. Why don't you start right at the website? You can make an appointment right there, ColoradoPainCare.com or 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. When you get into an accident, speaking of pain, and you're injured, you're going to have some pain, but you're also going to need some legal help possibly. But rather than go off and assume you have a case or talk to a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about, get free legal advice. John Fuller offers that. Free legal advice when you need it the most. When you're injured, you can call him. He'll talk to you about the case, about the collectability, about your injuries, about whether you need an attorney or not. There's no obligation to hire him. John Fuller. You can find him at referralist.com or call him directly, 303-597-4500. That's 303-597-4500.
Frequent ups and downs and flat market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KHOW. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Hey there, homeowners. Are you experiencing pipe leaks? Is your water bill unexpectedly high? Or are you suffering from low water pressure? These are signs of widespread pipe failure due to old, corroded, and shoddy pipes. Rerouting a pipe or other Band-Aid fixes are not the answer. Only a whole house repipe with brand new high-quality PAX or copper will permanently solve the problem. Repipe Specialists. No more leaks and great water pressure. They've been doing this for over 25 years and over 40,000 happy customers.
What you guys expect when you came in?
Cost of a plumber with a lifetime guarantee.
I didn't know what to
Say
expect.
goodbye to leaks once and for all.
Underneath,
Enjoy
a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
the risk of potential water
Yeah.
damage. Call us today for your free
It's kind of weird, huh?
We'll even take 20% off our already low
People are
price.
either fascinated by it or they don't want to talk about it.
Where'd you guys meet?
Internet? AOL.
AOL.
Yes.
Did they have like a dating thing back in the day?
No, we met in the chat room.
Just an old school chat room.
Yep.
What was the topic?
It was a tea house for, what the heck was it? It was some sort of tea house.
I remember those old rooms.
Yeah.
My first chat stuff was like, you'd literally dial in on a modem,
Yep.
and it was like literally a bulletin board. Everything was just typing.
Yep, that's what was us.
Yeah.
Back in 97.
Crazy.
I was binging and bonging, and you weren't going to send a picture, that was going to take all night.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. They're all mailing a picture.
If you didn't get bumped. somebody call in and bump you off one.
I think my first modem might have been a 14.4. It might have even been a 96. I came a little after these guys that had the 2400 baud modem.
Well, 56K.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, or if you had an ISDN line, that was the ultimate.
Yep.
But yeah, the 56Ks, those were weird because they never really connected right.
No.
They tried to negotiate forever.
Because we had the laptop, we had a 56K on card with the spring out. It had the phone line plugged into it.
I had a small internet company, so we had about 700 people that would pay us about anywhere from 20 up to $30 for all you could eat internet. And when I had to upgrade my modems from the 28.8s to some of the 56K stuff, it was pretty costly. But all those people, we ran them on 48 2T1s, 48 phone lines. And then if we get too busy, I'd literally log in and kick everybody off. Everybody off. Because people would camp and it would drive me insane.
Exactly.
And some of them had little softwares that would do something on the computer so it wouldn't kick them off.
Sometimes what may seem like a senior moment consistent with
Make it seem like they were acting.
They make it seem so they camp forever. Some of these spots get so loud I want to hang with these people.
Or other memory issues or mood changes. Talk to a doctor.
So I go in,
asking about cognitive.
kick everybody off, and then over a 4 or 5 day period, the campers would come back.
Oh, yeah.
But it would drive me nuts.
You're out. You're out. Everybody's out.
Yep, you're out. You're out. So I had this.
I mean, completely.
What? Oh, you were asking about that?
Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255.
All right, I'm dying to hear what happened with this situation with Cinebad Auto, and then Deputy Doc has something on that tour company. So, Michael, what's going on with Cinebad?
Well, I went to Nancy after I was on the air with you and Sammy, and I explained to her what was said, and I told her, I said that Sammy had his ducks in a row and that you signed documents. She said she didn't know, and now when I talked to her, I have to use a translation app through Google because she doesn't have good English. She has hello, hi, all that kind of thing, just kind of conversational, but she doesn't have good English.
What was her? I'm trying to find her problem. What was her original claim?
Well, she overpaid, right?
Yeah, but she said that she wasn't given the Carfax, but she did sign documents that stated that she...
It was salvage, basically.
It was salvage.
Frame damage.
It had front-end damage, yeah, front-end damage. So I told her, I said...
No, it said frame damage. I think it said frame damage, or structural, no, I'm sorry, structural damage.
Right. So what it came down to is that she didn't know what she was doing, and when I talked to her, I have to use Google Translate. And then I talked her out of going to court because I said, you're going to lose if you go to any level of court. And I said, now what you need to do is, Sammy offered you $600. Go down there and get that from him. He's offered that in a good faith offering to go get that. I said, I found somebody to take the vehicle as salvage for $3,500. Whether she does it or not, I don't know. But she was ready to spend $1,043 yesterday on fixing more of the air conditioning issues.
Where do you play into all of this, by the way?
I'm just a friend of hers.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Second, yeah.
And did this car, I mean, how many miles did it have on it? I know what it was. It was a Subaru, right?
Yep.
That's right. Now I remember.
She's never been able to drive it. And again, I had been there.
Yep. So where does she stand right now today?
Whether she's going to take the salvage value from that gentleman that offered $3,500.
Yeah. Do you know what she's going to do? Is she going to take it?
Bad connection, Tom.
We have a bad connection. Okay, never mind. Look, at least we have somebody helping her or trying to make her understand what's going on.
He sounds like a good friend, Tom.
Coming up, we're going to talk to Deputy Doc. It's too late now. I want to talk to him about he called on that tour company. Yes, Suze.
Oh, Tom, I think he did have a question if we can he hung up. Never mind.
All right. Anyway, we had that tour company that canceled last year, postponed it for this year. Now we have the State Department saying don't travel, and they're saying, well, it hasn't been canceled yet. We're going to figure that one out. We also have Abbott Funeral Services we're going to talk to, again, coming up on low-cost funeral arrangements or anything else relating to that. 303-713-TALK. We have plenty of time for your calls. 303-713-8255. Stick around.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's 50-cent tree sale, starting this Friday, August 20th. Choose from thousands of carry-out-sized trees that are easy to handle and easy to...
What were you saying when you went in there? When you came back in?
I just wanted to know what's going on.
Oh. That's 25, 235, then 5 miles west to Tree Farm. That's the guy that did our intro song. Yeah, he did that, what, 30, 40 years ago?
Everybody in Denver knows that tune.
Everybody knows
It's like the Cars for Kids.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a terrible song. But you know it.
I don't mind it. I know everybody says they can't stand it. I actually sing along with that shit. I think that Cars for Kids with a K. It's Cars with Kids with a K.
We had an idea. We were going to set up a charity called Coins to Kids. And when you go to the airport, you know, for guys, where you take the chain pocket and you put it, we were going to have little booths where you could take the change and donate it to charity, and then you would have United Way distributed. So that we were going to take no salary. But trying to set it up became such a hassle that we just gave up. But we thought it would be a great idea because how many times you go to the airport, you got 60, 70 cents in change, and you don't want to keep it. You would have donated to charity, and you multiply that by how many airports there are in the country, and it would pay millions of dollars to charity.
Pickup truck on the sidewalk in front of the Library of Congress and declaring it's got a bomb.
The FBI, ATF, DC,
Well, that guy's got a death wish.
Who's that?
The guy that said, hey, I got a bomb in my car. And he pulls in front of the Capitol.
Well, maybe he wants suicide by cop.
Hospitals in Haiti overwhelmed with patients who need treatment from last weekend's earthquake and this week's flooding and mudslides caused by tropical storm.
What they say
is ABC News.
It's just a nut.
Growing calls for Britain's foreign secretary to resign.
Should he stay or should he go now? That's what's facing British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. Here he is, walking into 10 Downing Street, with order asking, "Are you to resign, Mr. Raab?" No, his single-word response. At issue, his decision not to interrupt his vacation in Greece, make a call to his Afghan counterpart last Friday to help translators flee Afghanistan. 2 days later, the Taliban captured Kabul, and Raab finally cut short his break. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
The EPA is banning a pesticide sometimes.
Do you know how much military equipment the Taliban has now that we didn't destroy before we left?
Specifically in children.
It's ridiculous. Planes, helicopters. You know, hopefully one of the generals said that they may call in airstrikes to destroy them, which is what they need to do. We can't let that stuff fall into Taliban hands.
I'm Mark Remillard, ABC.
It already has.
Well,
I mean, stay in their hands.
Stay in their hands. Excuse me. You're right. Bad choice of words.
I wonder how someone learns to fly like a F-14. Yeah. Just get in there and hit the button.
You know, even healthy adults 65 and older are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
You know what to do? They get Armenian pilots to fly the older, you know, planes.
You can buy it. I think you can buy those Russian MiGs. The older ones.
Is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria.
Is there any of that weird shit out at your airport, Tom? What's that? Like old Russian MiG jets? People own.
About Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had an allergic reaction to the vaccine.
So you think one of our experts would
have a lower response?
Look over the if it's safe to fly?
Yeah.
Like J.R. Garza, one of our suspension people. We got a new job for you. How about it? Look at this MiG. Take it out for a test drive.
K-Town News Time. 103.
Governor Poland
You know, that dude in between us yesterday, he was pissed that I slow played him. He was really pissed on that one. He's like, man, I'm 78 and I know when I'm being slow played.
Good, so slow play.
That was like it's poker, man.
Poker.
We have a voice to do that. But what's not okay is threats or violence or getting in the way of education.
But that guy at the end of the table was so obnoxious.
I was killing him.
I'm glad he lost his money.
I was killing him. And then I'd turn around. It didn't matter. If he thought I was bluffing, I'd show the hand. And then if he thought I had it, I'd show him that I was bluffing.
Right.
He was so pissed, man.
Well, I've played before. He's just an obnoxious kid.
He had he ordered dinner, and he had like the guy had to come back. You know, what's the average thing on that menu? $10. The guy came back and said, well, you only got like $7. I need $3.14. The guy was just like, man, I played 20 hours yesterday, 15 the day before, and I got $7.
So just give the guy a black chip, a red chip, and that'll cover it.
That woman,
yeah,
I hammered her on that one. She hated that, man. She had me every which way. I pushed all in.
Yeah, that was a great.
There was $300-400 in there, man. I was like all in, and then she folded. And when I showed her, I just had a pair of 10s. Oh my God, I thought she was gonna die. You never do that, do you? That shit. I like throwing shit in people's faces.
Oh, I do when I think it's appropriate.
Like that. I wanted to nail that one guy at the end every time.
Yeah, I mean with him. You know, if someone is basically, isn't an asshole, I don't try to egg them on.
Yeah, of course.
If somebody's being an asshole, and I'll definitely do, what you did if I had the chance.
Yeah.
But if it's just an average guy who's just playing poker, there's no point in rubbing it in his face. And if they're not behaving badly,
I pretty much showed him anytime he wanted. One single time I wanted to see what he had, he wouldn't fucking show it. That's when I was like, game on, bro. Can't play for 8 or 9 hours anymore, man. It just drives me insane. I forget, man. I mean, basically, you got to get on a heater, you got to make money, then you got to lock down again. It's a fucking job.
That's what you got to do.
It's just a job.
Did Heavyweight get back to you on our bike rack? They didn't
No, but
respond, those assholes.
No, but at our house right now, your kickstand showed up.
Oh, it did? I'm on my third kickstand with
Why,
my
did you
e-bike.
keep breaking them?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
keep
crazy.
breaking.
Yeah.
Ken, all on their own. They just break.
It just happened.
Yes. Yep.
Has nothing to do with the force that you use.
No, it pisses me off, too, because I saw that same ad.
You keep getting
The order
replaced
today,
for
it
free.
ships tomorrow. I'm
No,
like,
how much
this
does
we ordered
the
a week
kickstand
ago.
cost?
Fucking $26.
$26 in 10 minutes of his time.
So you don't get compensated for it?
No, she breaks them. Don't let her kid you.
I might wreck a little bit sometimes. I might get carried away and wreck.
I had my wheel fall off one time. My front wheel, dude. It got this weird quick connect on it, and we were up in Breckenridge, and I go over this bridge, little bridge, like a sidewalk bridge. My whole front wheel fell off. I was like, oh my God, if I was going downhill or something, I'd be dead.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. I want to mention that Harris Family Law is there for your needs. If you ever have a dispute and you need a good family attorney, they have a firm of attorneys that can help you no matter what your circumstances are, and they do collaborative law, which when they described it is basically unbelievable. They pledge not to drum up legal fees and not to file anything in court and to do everything outside of court. If you want that, they can also do unbundled services. That means that you do as little or as much work as you want on the divorce, and they can help you or do it all. 303-515-5000, a unique approach to family law. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. I'm Tom Martino, and we have with us we have Abbott Funeral Services, and you can put a .com on that to find out more about them. And you said a basic cremation, if you could go through it with us, you wanted to give people an option when they did not have a lot of money, and they can get for $8.95. Explain what they get.
So for $800,
and you got to turn the mic on right there, dear.
Okay.
Right there. Okay, go ahead.
For $895, it includes all the basic services of the funeral director and staff. That would be us lodging the paperwork, getting the permit for the cremation
and
itself.
And that's picking up the body from the home or whatever, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Transportation of the remains into our care and custody of the body so you don't get paid for storage or anything. The cremation fee, the basic container, because Colorado law requires you have to be cremated in a container.
Yeah.
The basic urn, which is that black poly box we were talking about, and your first death certificate.
So all of that for $895.
Yes, sir.
And then if there are additional expenses, if COVID is involved, you have helped people apply for that money.
Yes.
And that money's made available through the federal government.
Correct. You would go to the FEMA website. You will require to have a death certificate that does list COVID somewhere on it, whether it's cause 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then you'll have to have your expenses from the funeral home with proof that you've actually paid for that.
Tom, in Colorado, so you can be, I don't know, what's the word, disposed of? I'm sure that's not the correct word, but disposed of in 4 different ways. Do you know what they are? Cremation, of course.
And burial.
Burial. Do you know the other 2?
Only because I heard you talking about them.
Aren't they crazy?
But are they on the market right now?
Composting and alkaline hydrolysis.
Alkaline hydrolysis is an acid decomposition, and then that liquid is then used in the soil?
Yes. You would have to dispose of it in some manner, such as bury it with your trees or whatnot. There is a regulation.
It's not toxic, is it?
No. Nothing that comes out of the human body is toxic, including cremated remains. Everything is technically edible. I wouldn't suggest you do so, but it is technically
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes. But they say there is a regulation that you're not allowed to use it for composting of food products or anything of that sort. But, of course, once it's in your care, it's your stuff.
My wife and our producer wants to be turned into a diamond. Have you done that with anybody?
That has been completed. Basically, it does
it's a cremation. It's a cremation, but then part of the body is
removed.
And
then sent to that company.
Yeah, and that company presses a diamond and just simply adds this to it. Because no part of your body could be made into
Aren't you kind of setting your kids up for failure like that? Because what happens if they lose you? Think about that. How guilty would they feel if they lost you, like you're an earring and they lose you? I mean, really, aren't you setting them up for failure?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they would ever admit losing you. Here's the thing.
How do you want to go?
Deputy Doc. I have not given it a thought. Deputy Doc.
Okay.
I want to mention this. This tour company, we have a tour guide, a guy who coordinated the consumers and the hotels and the airfare and all of that. He's the middleman, I call him. Okay.
And it's a church group.
Last year they postponed it. Now we're this year. And now where they're going to go has been, what do you call it, redlined or whatever? What is it?
The State Department has
red flag.
Level 4.
By the State Department.
Do not travel.
Do not travel there. So then she says to her broker, her guy, and says, or whatever, tour guide, oh, we're being told not to go there. And he says, well, as long as the hotels and the other people are doing it, we're going to do it. And he said, they haven't notified me. My whole contention is he's the one that has to start insisting on his money back for his people. So where do we stand on this?
Well, the name of the company is Alex International Tours. His name is Mario Anna, A-N-N-A. So I called up Mario, and I told him who we were, and I said, I'm trying to help Sharon out, and is there some way that we can talk about what the situation is now with the State Department giving a red alert and people being advised not to go there? can we somehow talk about getting your money back or dealing with the people you're dealing with to see if we can help her out? And basically he told me, I don't have to deal with you. She's not getting her money back. The trip is not canceled. And this is a guy who belongs to her church. And all I did is say, I'm trying to help her out. And
I'll guarantee you he made his money.
Right. And I said...
He took the spread already.
He said, I'm going. She can't get her money back. The trip isn't canceled. I don't have to talk to you, and hung up.
I'd sue him in small
That's going to be a fun trip with this guy.
I think you sue that guy directly. This is her out. You sue that guy directly. That guy is her go-between. I'll bet you she signed with him.
I told her the only thing that I can do is if she can find from him the people that he's dealing with, I will make an attempt to contact them in Delta Airlines. But he's not going to work with us, and he's really being... And for a guy who's leading a church group, he's pretty obnoxious.
He is obnoxious.
It's crazy. I can't imagine if they do end up going and all these people mad at him. You better watch his back.
And all I said was, I'm trying to help Sharon, and maybe I can help you at the same time. And he just went nuts.
No, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. And so is he in this business? What does he do? Is he in this business?
Well, he's the head of Alex International Tours, which I would suggest, if it wasn't in Arizona, I would put on our sleaze brigade.
Okay, so that's his thing. So he is in Arizona. I think we should give his number out, and people should tell him we're going to spread the word that you're a scumbag, because he's the one that has the money.
Well, he probably is not getting his money back from Delta and whoever as well, though. But I'm not going to argue he didn't make this spread, but the fact he wouldn't even share that kind of information with you, Doc, is troublesome.
Well, the fact is, I said maybe I can help you get your money back as well. Anyway, the number is 928-486-3990, and his name is Mario Anna.
948-486-3990. You know, here's what I feel. He's got his money already. He got his money. What do you think? No, he didn't get his money? Of course he got his money. And that's the problem. This guy gets his money, and then he says, screw everyone else. That's what it sounds like to me. Because, you know, look, I can't... Mark, you mentioned, are we here forever? Is this the new us? Yes, it is. I can't believe anyone would ever, in a million years, ever again, as long as we live, book a cruise or some kind of tour because of how uncertain everything is. I can't see anyone doing it ever. I can't see it. And I would never, ever do it.
And you know what else, Tom? You know, most of the people who listen to the show know my opinion on religion, but I think it's...
I don't think they do, and I don't think they care.
No, it's doubly bad that when you pretend to be a church organization and you promise people of faith that you are going to do this and that you use the church as a front, that it's twice as bad because you're taking advantage of their beliefs.
If that's what he did...
It's a church group. And I think he used the church as a front to take advantage of these people.
Doc, we had, during COVID, well, I mean, you were part of the show then, we had so many calls from kids that were going to be taking their senior trip, wherever it was, Washington, Hawaii, and they couldn't get any of their money back. It was absolutely outrageous.
Remember we had that one place, I think it was out in Littleton, that had a whole bunch of trips like that, and they went bankrupt?
Yep. It's crazy.
Anyway, 303-713-TALK if you have a number. Okay. Michael has a question. He's the one that was helping that woman with the used car from Cinebed. What is your question, Michael? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael. What is your question?
My apologies for the bad transmission last call.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, I know that the legal level that the courts will provide translation services. When someone's doing a car sale or a different type of legal transaction, Are they at any obligation to provide any kind of translation service?
No, they're not on an obligation. We go round and round on this though forever, and this is the thing. How can a dealer in good conscience sell something if the person doesn't understand? And I believe if the person truly doesn't understand, there might be a good reason to get out of it. But I mean,
I don't think it was that bad of a deal, Michael. I mean, we looked at it. It doesn't need that much work. The guy offered to pay for the stuff that she just got repaired, the strut plates or whatever it was. I don't think the dealer did that bad of a deal. I mean, he made money on the car for sure, but it wasn't crazy.
I remember, that's right. When we finally did look at it, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. So,
and it's let the buyer beware too. I mean, you got to say yay or nay.
How did you run across this woman?
I met her actually because my fiance is Asian lady, and they all congregate because they share the same Buddhist religion.
Okay,
so
got it. Got it.
So I was just trying to help her, and I kind of came into it late. But I said, you ultimately made most of the mistakes here, and you really got to just write it off as a $6,000 or $7,000 lesson, and let's move forward. You know.
Well, actually, not. That the car was not. You're making it sound like the car was junk. It does have a value. I mean, as I understand it, it's not junk.
No.
All right, 303-713-8255. I want to give the number out in case you have any questions. For Sean or Sandra on Abbott Funeral Services, we talked about the low-cost option with cremation, and then they have, of course, add-ons to that. I want to know in the funeral industry, and you don't have to answer it right now, what are the common mistakes people make? I mean, there must be mistakes people make, as with anything.
Here's Bruce and Steve, the Williams brothers.
If the last year has taught us anything, it's that life is precious and those we love are irreplaceable.
Which explains why we've sold more diamond engagement rings than ever to couples of all ages.
Most in their 20s and 30s, but one of our favorites was a gentleman who was 80, and the love of his life was in her 70s.
He said, if not now, when? You can't put off love, not anymore.
If you found your true love, forever starts today at Williams Jewelers.
Because here, you'll find Denver's largest selection of top designer engagement rings, the latest styles. If it's on Pinterest, it's in our store.
The finest loose diamonds direct from our cutters.
All at the best price in Colorado. Guaranteed.
Williams Jewelers, where Colorado shines.
Forever starts today.
Who do you want to spend it with?
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
In Cherry Creek North and Englewood, where Colorado shines.
All right, Granite Liquidators is a place you can visit
and buy just like a contractor. It's a big stone yard with granite, quartzite, marble, and maybe whatever slabs you can find. But here's the deal. Whatever you buy will be at wholesale, and they'll put your name on it and put it aside for you and store it there until you're ready. They have everything you need to get started on your project. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, stone is semi-permanent, so that's why you shop for that first, decorate around it. You can change the color of the wallpaper and stuff like that easier than stone. So you go there and pick your stone and decorate around it, 5075 Tabor Street. And again, they store it for you. You get to see the whole slab, not just tiny little samples. So you know what you're getting. You can even plan which part you want to use for a counter or a backstop or maybe even showers. Whatever it is, you get all of your stone at graniteliquidators.com. Planning is a good thing. When it comes to estate planning, it can be the difference between a bankrupt estate and a flourishing estate. For example, you can plan for long-term care costs. So your husband or wife does squalor after you've had long-term care. There are special trusts you can do to protect your assets. There are all kinds of things you can do to make yourself eligible for long-term care without breaking the bank. Also, of course, leaving to your heirs. You want to do it in a certain way that maybe protects them. Whatever it is, get all of your questions answered at BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and that's 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
You don't want to get stuck with two mortgages. Michael Brown here, and I recommend that you talk to Ed Prather at Ed Prather Real Estate. Ed Prather's proprietary marketing system. There are multiple offers in 3 days.
You know what's amazing? If you listen to the commercials when you're not here, there are 5 real estate agents that claim they sell more houses than anybody else in Denver.
Yeah.
No long-term contract.
And there's one of them that really does.
There's one of them that sells generally twice as many each month as the other one selling a year.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying they all claim they sell the most homes for the most money.
$105,000 more than they had paid, and they were able to move back to the country. Ed Prather is the only real estate agent that I recommend and trust with the sale of my own home, and you should trust him too.
Poor Smarty Marty, man, they wanted to move to Boulder. Man, you can't even buy a shack up there for $850 now.
Really?
A shack.
Where do you sell?
North.
Did you hear about
he
that?
He went from cheap to, cheap. He thought he made so much on that house, but
now he can't find it.
He can't find shit, man. They're going to end up being in an apartment for a while.
Did you hear about that place in California? They got burned to the ground, and they got $850,000 over their asking price, and all it is a burned-out hulk on an incredible piece of land. $850,000 over asking price, and the house is burned down.
We gotta
because they wanted this prime piece of LA real estate.
You know, it'd be interesting if the insurance company would want station there. I know that if you insure that property and they take that check and sell it and make more, I'll guarantee you there's going to be some fights there because you're not supposed to profit from it.
That's interesting.
No,
but they're not rebuilding, so
then they take only. Then all they can get is actual cash value, but they can argue you're getting that from the remains. I'm serious, by the way. That could be a big argument.
Doc, we got one down at the bottom of our cul-de-sac, probably built in the 60s. They've got, I think, 11 acres, and it's got a new roof, but other than that, man, it's probably 1,500 square feet, if that.
Hey, can we get Tyler on since
they just put it up for $1 million?
Premier, and that'll be his one spot.
They would
introduce him to everyone.
They would literally level it. If someone bought it, they'd level it and build a big house.
With 11 acres, that's...
It's insane, is what it is.
Yeah.
Take the shortcut to your next
It's insane for that money.
Sponsor a job on Indeed. Instant Match immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/Sharon.
Denver's talk station.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Waterpros.net, the best systems for conditioning water, filtration, for the best prices. How about that? And they are like half or less than even a third of what those other companies charge. And it's waterpros.net. You can get full house water conditioning for under $2,000, and right now with a lot of people buying homes, that's a great thing to do. Under $2,000. Waterpros.net. All right, so real estate is going crazy, but a lot of people can't even buy when they sell because they do have to replace it. By the way, I want to talk to Tyler. Tyler's with Premier Window Cleaning Services, and they do window cleaning, and they also do pressure washing, which is cool, and they're staying really busy. But Tyler, I want to know your sweet spot. What are the jobs you're looking for? Where can you give the best values?
So right now I'm looking for commercial jobs. We're definitely taking on residential jobs at the current moment. Fall time's coming up. We're definitely going to be doing our fall homes, getting the exteriors of the houses all cleaned up for the holiday season. We're also going to be focusing a lot of our time right now on starting to book out for holiday light installations.
Oh, so you do holiday light installations as well.
That's smart.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yes, we do.
So you do window cleaning, pressure washing, holiday light installation. Now, when you talk about pressure washing, what do you pressure wash?
We pressure wash houses, concrete, flat work, buildings, anything that we can throw water on, we will pressure wash.
And it really does clean up things. And, of course, you do garage floors and stuff, too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on the window cleaning, inside and out?
Yes, sir.
But you also give a price. When you give a price, you include other glass. Explain that.
Yes, I do. So when we do the interior and the exterior, I throw in complimentary on us. I throw in all mirrors and miscellaneous glass. What that kind of means is that we're going to take care of all your shower glass, anything that's just miscellaneous around the house.
Yeah.
That we can touch. All
right, we get it. Tyler, thank you. And I had you at my home, and I can't say enough about it. Premier Window Cleaning Services, 303-564-5574. If you people want a great job, book it now before they get too crowded. It's just a few of them, and they do a splendid job. 303-564-5574. And that's Premier Window Cleaning Denver.org.
You know, and that's true, man. Get a book now. That's like Buddy Mitchell was telling us the other day. You want new flooring and stuff by Thanksgiving or Christmas? With this supply chain stuff, you got to order it now. How about all these people that are going to find out they need a furnace soon, and they're going to be hard to get?
No, it's hard. That's right.
I mean, what did George, pre-order a ton of them?
Yeah, well, and they also have parts, which is important because, and most these parts are made overseas, and they had a year shutdown, and they still have now slowdowns and labor shortages. So this is I'll tell you what, this is a big problem in the future here. Let's talk to, again, you give us a call with any problems, question, complaints, 303-713-TALK. And with Abbott Funeral Services, what are some of the things people forget or people overlook when either planning for a funeral or when they're up against a funeral? Or common mistakes people make? Or maybe there aren't any. Are there?
There are common mistakes that people do make. The biggest one is rushing through your decisions. A lot of times people think that things have to be done within the first 12 to 24 hours. That's not an absolute truth. The sooner we can get a death certificate signed by a doctor, the sooner we can move forward. But that's just informational. The actual service itself doesn't need to be decided now. So a lot of people will go out and they'll buy Mom that $10,000 casket thinking that that's what they should do without actually thinking if that's what they can do. So a lot of times we tell them take a day. I normally don't even call my families back. If I have a passing of a person the night before, I won't even call them before 11 o'clock the next day. Yeah. You have to assume that they're going to be up all night. The last thing they need is pressure on what decision they're going to make at that point.
I wonder about this. You know, a lot of people worry about the casket, and it's mainly for the viewing.
Yes.
I mean, is there a way, does this sound tacky? I hope it doesn't, that they can use a casket for viewing.
Yes.
Without, and then just bury in something else, a vault or something, or I don't know, is that a possibility? Or of course, for cremation.
Yes.
You know, why would you burn? There are people that burn up $10,000 coffins.
There are. And they will go out and they will spend $15,000 to $25,000 on, say, a mahogany casket, which the only thing you're going to get back is the handles if you want it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. If you want a service, rental caskets are available. And they are available in packages. And basically what it is it's the hull of a casket. The interior comes separate, and it's given to each person. So that's removed. And then basically we just take them out. They're put into their cremation container, and that way the casket's reused. Again, you're not incurring that cost of an extra casket.
You know, I've never had to, thank God, deal with anything like this. So is there a lot of people in your business, like when you show up, I don't want to say high pressure.
No, she was just saying, I think they are high pressure.
They try to guilt you into hey, your mom deserves the best.
Of course they do. They're sales.
Yeah, a lot of the bigger companies.
Of course they do.
They're all commission based, of course. So the more they sell, the higher commission, the better money they make. So of course they're going to push you that.
And they make it sound like you're buying something forever. I mean, it's going to be rotting.
Exactly.
Or it's going into a crematorium.
That too.
Anyway, we have more coming up. 303-713-TALK.
So can my son put my eggs in his Ziploc bag and take it home?
Yes.
Did you guys know that Costco sells coffins?
And Walmart,
Yeah,
Amazon, and all of them.
I'm telling you, I told Eric, bring a Ziploc bag to the crematorium,
This report is
and then just sprinkle it on the golf course.
We have had the weirdest stuff. We
we've had coffee cans and little
Yeah, I mean,
jars and.
Hold on, guys. I got a spot here.
If he's not going to keep it in the urn, just sprinkle on the golf course in the Ziploc bag.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell you, one reason I'm being cremated is because I want my son to feel obligated to visit my gravesite. So if he moves out of Denver, let's say he goes to California, New York, or Florida.
Yeah, but my grandparents were cremated, and they're actually in like a cemetery thing inside these plaques. And
Right, well, I'm saying, I don't want Eric to have to feel he has to come back once a year to look at my urn. I mean, what's the point?
All right, hold on.
6,000 homeless Denver neighbors have thing in common, a purpose yet to be realized. Their potential goes ignored, unnoticed, unseen. But it's not too late when you open your eyes. You open your heart. Learn more at denverunseen.org.
All right, Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Kevin, you know what I love about him? He can work on any vehicle you have. I don't care if it's a BMW or if it's a Toyota, it could be a Hyundai, a Ford, a Chevy. He works on everything. He's going to save you a ton of money over dealerships as well, and it doesn't do anything to your warranty. I still can't believe some people believe that it breaks your warranty if you bring it to Sheridan Auto Tech. Of course it does not. Anything from oil changes, brake jobs. He also now owns Lakewood Electric. Any of those strange electrical problems, any kind of drains, this guy has the best techs out there. You got to check him out. Go to SheridanAutoTech.com. Numerous locations. This is the kind of shop, when you start using them, you're going to use them forever. Your kids are going to use them as long as they live in the same area. He's a great guy in business, over 30 years, SheridanAutoTech.com. Now, talk about great companies. How about a company that will sell you an air conditioner, a brand new air conditioner, and also throw in the furnace, a whole home humidifier, and give you 5 years. Yes, 5 years with zero interest for about the same price as some companies sell you just the air conditioner. It starts at $8,500. It's 888heating.com. That's their website. Their phone number is also 888heating, but the best way to find them is go to Referral List and just start typing in 888heating.com.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's 50-cent tree sale starting this Friday, August 20th. Choose from thousands of carry-out-size trees that are easy to handle and easy to plant while supplies last. Buy the first tree at regular price and mix or match a second tree for only 50 cents. Thousands of shade trees, flowering trees, fruit trees, evergreen trees, ornamental trees, and more. Offer huge savings on shrubs and perennials. 50-cent tree sale.
You guys should come up with a jingle. You should. And then 20 years from now, people will be going, oh, I hate that. I remember that 20 years ago. I'm still singing.
If you want to be burned.
When the clock strikes. Yeah. We got to get our jingle guy to get them a good, catchy jingle.
That would be something, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, that would be great.
Can you play the jingle from, or the music from 6 Feet Under?
There you go.
I've never seen it, but
I love that show.
I don't remember. All I know is the guy from Dexter was one of the stars.
Yep,
right?
yes, it sure was.
You know what's amazing?
He was there first.
Yeah, I'd never seen him before, except in Dexter. And then I found out he played Joel Grey in Cabaret.
Dexter was one of my
But
favorite
to see him as a
shows
singer and dancer after seeing him at Dexter, it's kind of a weird juxtaposition.
Well, how about the, what was the Broken Bad? Is that what it's called?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. That dude was Malcolm in the Middle's dad.
Yeah.
That's where I remember him
Right.
from. Talk about a range. The main guy at Breaking Bad.
Brian.
Brian Cranston.
Yeah.
He was Malcolm in the Middle,
And he's in
the
that
goofy father.
He's in that great show, Your Honor.
Oh, that was great. That whole season was great.
Yeah, I think they come back with.
I bet you liked that, didn't you? Because it was one season, hit. I liked it.
But
I did like the ending.
They're coming back with the second season, I thought. It didn't end.
I don't know. Showtime did one that was really great. Woody Harrelson was in it the first season.
Oh, True Crime.
God, I love True Crime. I like those one season, then they start over.
That's another one I never got.
Had great seasons.
I didn't get into any one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't find them.
God, how you didn't like that first season? It's amazing.
Hey, let me take a minute and talk about Blue Sky CBD.
What was that one that I said was funny? It is. It's a dark comedy. You watched it, but you said you didn't think it was funny, but you liked the show.
Hacks.
I loved it.
I thought it was great. It was great drama. I didn't think it was a really dark comedy.
I like dark
comedy. It wasn't but it wasn't that funny. But I thought it was great watching.
Now what I've really liked is the sleep gels. I've always had a problem sleeping.
I just can't stand that stuff from like England, Canada,
Australia.
and Australia. I'll tell you, during COVID though, you go to turn Netflix like in September, man, talk about desperate. They had shit from countries I've never even heard of the country. These movies, you turn it on, you're like, what in the hell language is that? And it'd be the lowest budget thing you ever saw. Like literally, they ran out of movies.
Oh, they're actually not going to have a second season of Your Honor.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't like the ending, man.
No.
I thought the ending was really fast.
God, you killed it. I mean, it was just the worst ending.
It was like someone just, it's too ironic. It was a shit.
It's poetic justice is what it was.
Yeah, but it wasn't written well. It could have been, he could have died in a better, different way, you know?
Sometimes they do that just to end the series. And they try to tie up all the loose ends in an hour.
And then, you know, Sopranos, that ending was...
Where would it go with a second season?
They left it so... Well, the judge was still in so much trouble. He broke every damn ethical thing he could do.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show anywhere in the universe like this one, and we're happy with what we do. Steve, what's going on with your pawn shop?
Hey, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Pawn shops have an automatic built-in prejudice to do bad. And I'm going to, that doesn't mean they all do it, and they hate when I talk about it, but it's an automatic, built-in, contractual reason to do the wrong thing. So go ahead, Steve.
Hey, I was wondering, you know any good pawn shops? Because I got to go pawn my watch today. Some things came up, and I was wondering, you know anyone that is a good one?
No.
You could recommend?
Nope, not one. Now, I know there are some better than others, but I don't know any. What kind of watch do you have?
It's a Daytona Rolex.
Okay, and what's the retail on it? If you went to buy it on eBay right now, what would it be?
Around maybe 17.5, 18.5.
Okay. Let me explain something to everyone and why I said that pawn shops have a built-in reason to do the wrong thing. Do you know why? Here's why.
No.
I'm going to tell you why, because you might run across it. Let's take your watch. What do you think you'd get on that watch?
Maybe around, like, I say about maybe 14.5.
No, you won't get close. Not even close.
Well, is he trying to sell it or pawn it? What's your intention?
Pawn it.
For good.
Pawn it.
No, pawn it.
No,
pawn is not for good. Pawn is for good if you want it to be for good. It's better to sell, first of all.
To get a loan on it, basically.
I understand. But let me explain usually what happens. You have something you say is worth 17 or 18. They're going to say it's worth 14. They're going to give you 7 if you're lucky. Okay? So you might get 7,000 on that watch, maybe 5 or 6. Now, seriously, then here's what happens. In your pawn agreement, it says if it is lost or stolen, the only thing they have to pay you is what? The value? No. They have to pay you the loan value. And you see, we had, after a while, there was a guy on Broadway, and there'd be people in there with diamonds and jewelry worth thousands of dollars, and then he'd give them a couple grand on it. And guess what? They'd come in and say, where's my thing? Oh, it's stolen or it's lost. Somebody must have walked out with it. And then they only have to pay him a couple grand for it. And then meanwhile, he gets something worth 10 or 12 grand. You see, every single pawn shop contract in the entire state is written that the only thing they owe you if something is lost or stolen is what? Not the retail value, not any value except the loan value. You are giving them a license to steal and to make profit because you agree up front that's all you will take. Now, people don't look at it like that. A lot of people say, well, they look at it like, oh, man, at least I'm getting $5 or $10 grand if I need it. What they don't understand is that if a pawn shop operator wants it to go out the back door and call it lost or stolen, that's all he has to do. And he gets to keep the profit. It's amazing to me that people would sign a contract like that. You're taking 10 cents, 20 cents on the dollar, and then you're agreeing that if that product shows up lost or stolen, you will take 10 or 20 cents. All he does is forgive the loan, and you're done. I mean, think about that. Wouldn't you be pissed off, Steve, if you get $5 grand for that watch, you come back for it, and he goes, I'm sorry, Steve, it's lost, but here's the good news. We're forgiving your loan.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off on that part.
Yeah, I know you would be. Now, I'm not telling you that every pawn shop does that, and obviously, if they did it, they would get a reputation, have to close up. And by the way, many of them have because of it, but they go out with a lot of money. So I'm not telling you that every pawn shop's going to do it. I'm just telling you I don't know of many good ones. And by the way, the pawn shop industry is being taken over by, I believe, one specific ethnic group.
Russians.
How'd you know that?
Because every call we've had with a pawn shop in the past 8 years is Russian-owned.
Okay. So, that, by the way, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all.
No, but the complaints that we had on some of them were pretty bad, man, like that threatening people's lives and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's something you don't mess with. I mean, right now, with, look, it's not a good time for pawning right now. It's not a good time. But it is a good time for selling stuff if you want to sell something. And that's really what you should do. I mean, if you truly want to get your money, so otherwise you end up getting hardly anything and paying out the nose in interest. And it's not, it's actually easier for you to recover from and never, ever, ever, ever get a payday loan, ever. A payday loan is meant to keep you in constant slavery. I mean, once you do a payday loan, you're done. I mean, because now you get to a point where all you're doing is waiting for a paycheck to pay off what you owe, and you have to borrow again because you can't make ends meet. Payday loans and pawn shops, they are the road to disaster, absolute positive disaster.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, an accident on southbound Pena approaching 56th is jamming things up from the E470 toll road. So about a 30-minute delay on that drive out from DIA, and some curiosity slowing on the northbound side of Pena heading into the airport as well, so you may want to use Tower as an alternate. The rest of the drive around the metro area in good shape with no other major problems. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon will cool off to the low 60s overnight. More isolated thunderstorms possible tomorrow for your Friday with a high in the low 80s. It is 80 right now in Denver. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything at you. Dell Technologies advisors have the tech advice you need to navigate whatever you're up against. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney I hope you never need. You know, a lot of people don't even realize that DUI is a criminal offense. Driving while drunk or under the influence of a drug. Here's the thing. When you need an attorney, the worst thing you can do is shop for one. That's when you make stupid decisions. You shop under pressure. Well, Joe Lazzara is someone I've shopped for you. I've known him for years and years and years. And I can tell you that he will truly take care of you and defend you. And you don't have to go shopping under pressure. Now, I hope you never need him, but take down the name and number just in case this ever comes up. Joseph Lazzara. He's on my referral list. You can look him up, Joe Lazzara. And he does flat rate pricing, all quoted up front. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
Homeowners experiencing pipe leaks or low water pressure? Is your water bill unexpectedly high? These are signs of pipe failure due to old corroded pipes. Only a whole house repipe with brand new high quality PEX or copper will permanently solve the problem. Repipe Specialists. They'll repipe your home in just 1 to 2 days at half the cost of a plumber with a lifetime guarantee. Call for your free in-home estimate and get 20% off our already low price. 720-573-0086. That's 720-573-0086.
The Rockies have been hot at home this season with a lot of exciting walk-off wins. But sadly, summer is winding down with only one more August weekend series at Coors Field, August 20th through the 22nd against the D-backs. So get these hot tickets before they're gone at Rockies.com/tickets.
Not taking advantage of today's low rates? Think they're going lower? Well, with Ideal Home Loans, you'll always get the lowest rate with Ideal's exclusive
interest rate guarantee. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. If rates go down, they refinance you for your bank. Call for details 303-867-7000. And at Ideal, you don't have to start over at 15 or 30. You choose the ideal term for you. Only at IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867.
You know, that poker room was okay. I'm not so sure I like it any more or less than Ameristar for that matter. But I haven't been to the Ameristar poker room since pre-COVID, so I'm not even sure if it's what I remember.
It's worse than you remember.
Oh, okay.
So listen to this.
But I think the Ameristar one's bigger.
Well, it used to be.
Oh, okay. What am I listening
Children's
to?
Hospital in Columbus. We initially thought individuals with allergies to polyethylene glycol may have experienced reactions, but but after investigation, these do not appear to be the cause of this very rare anaphylaxis reaction.
Oh, you mean to the vax?
So the polyglycol ethylene does not cause any kind of anaphylactic reactions.
But no one cares about that. It's the substance itself that people are up in arms about. They don't give a fuck about that reaction.
About the PEGs?
They're just up in arms about the product itself and what it's been linked to.
Well, I was saying that the PEG doesn't cause any reaction.
It doesn't cause an anaphylactic reaction. Right. We don't know if it contributes to ALS. We don't know anything. We don't know if it contributes to Alzheimer's. We don't know what it does.
Okay, so
that's what people are saying.
Okay,
that's what they're upset about. They were not even. Pfizer itself is the one that looked into the anaphylactic.
But as a delivery method, that's different than if you're ingesting it, right? Like in your toothpaste or in your laxative.
Well, you are ingesting it in your bloodstream.
No, being injected with it is different than ingesting it.
Well, it's both ingesting.
All I'm saying is the caller was kind of acting like because it's in all of our food stores is why he was sick.
So there are some things you can't take orally because your body metabolizes it into non-useful elements, and other things that you can take either orally or intramuscularly.
Well, like my testosterone, I mean, you've got to take it certain ways. You can't just eat it.
Right.
You can't just take a pill.
Right.
That would be the bomb if you could.
Yeah, actually you could, but it wouldn't absorb.
You'd have to take a shitload.
That's right. It would be shitty. Right. And it would be hell on your liver and kidneys or whatever.
Yeah, when Tom watched that entire, what was it, Downtown or
Down Abbey?
Something Abbey, yeah. I tried watching that episode. I just can't.
That was the feminine side coming out. All right, boys and girls, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Doc.
Are you leaving? Go.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
It's only 5 minutes. You're gonna, and there's nothing to wrap up.
Later, Dave.
All right. See you tomorrow.
We had a great conversation yesterday, man.
Good, because I think when you go to medical school, they do something to your brain.
I know they
and
do.
They make you a conformist. At the highest degree.
They also make you an elitist.
Question anything?
How about when, the real doctors would smoke cigars,
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8. Abbott Funeral Services have been with us. We talked about things that people do in high-pressure sales and, buying caskets and all of that. Now, the industry has changed quite a bit. I understand people are even going to Costco and they go online to buy caskets. Is that right? And can a funeral home turn that down? Can they reject your casket?
They can choose to reject your casket if they so desire.
They can. Okay.
They can. And it's all dependent upon actually what kind of casket you purchase. Some people will buy a wicker casket, and it's not supportive enough for the body.
But I mean, let's put it this way. Can they arbitrarily do that? In other words, when you say they turn it down, can they turn it down if there's nothing wrong with it? Can a home say you must buy your casket from us? I thought the FTC had said you can't do that, but I'm not sure actually.
The only reason really you can turn down a casket is if it's not suitable for what you're going to use it.
Yeah, or not legal, so to speak, right?
Correct.
From health department.
Correct.
And is it the health department that regulates you guys? Who regulates funeral homes?
We are regulated by the Department of Regulatory Agencies here in the state of Colorado.
Right, but under what division under there? Do you know which one?
It's the Division of Funerals and Crematories.
Okay. And so that's separate from the health department, and that talks about what you can and cannot do.
Right, and as a funeral home, you have to be licensed as a funeral home. If you have a crematory, you have to be licensed as a crematory.
You can't be both.
You can be both in the state of Colorado.
You can be both.
Yes, and we hold both licenses.
I'm very naive on this stuff. So, like, when my pet just passed away, and we had a lady come out, put our dog to sleep, and then one of the questions is, do you want him basically incinerated with other dogs and you get ashes back? Or is it individual? The price differences? I assume with humans it's all individual?
It's individual, yes.
Okay.
And they're very strict about that.
They're not as strict as they should be. Let's be honest.
Yeah, because I was wondering, how do you really know?
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, can you even do a DNA test on ashes?
No.
And also,
it's over.
And also, jewelry and stuff. Do bodies have jewelry on them? If someone want to be buried with a ring, let's say it's a $10,000 or $20,000 ring, who's to say someone didn't remove the ring?
Correct. Normally, if you have a situation like that, we suggest that you do what's called a cremation witnessing. So you are present at the crematory when the body is put into the report.
Oh, when it's put in. Okay.
But the ring's going to come out, right?
Not necessarily.
No,
no, this is so hot, Mark, nothing comes out.
It's an average of 1,680 degrees.
So every ring, every piece of jewelry, everything is just down to the molecule.
It normally melts down. The only thing that we normally get out is prosthetic devices. Really? Such as knees, shoulders, hips.
You mean like titanium and stuff?
Yes. And those are removed and they are recycled and usually sent to third world countries.
Do they have to get permission to be recycled?
No, that is part of the cremation authorization that you sign, that anything that goes with them
very interesting.
Will come out with them.
I never would have thought about that. That's insane. Some stuff does survive that kind of heat.
Yes, and it's normally titanium and medical devices. Normally anything else doesn't come out, except for we have come across a couple of old coins from the 1920s will come out as a coin.
What are they made of? Why are they coming out?
Normally they're made out of silver and things.
Now, if they come out and you know they go with a particular body, do you put it in with the urn?
Yes, if it comes out as a complete and it's something like a coin. And the oddest thing is like they will have swallowed it as a child and their body will renucleate it and hold it in place.
Oh my goodness.
And that's how we get them back.
I would have no idea you could swallow a coin and it could be there for 15, 20 years.
And it can, if it gets into the large intestine and it blocks it off, it'll actually grow skin and over the top of it because it's an irritation.
Well, geez,
you learn something. I know. This is incredible, and it's
fairly rare because obviously that doesn't happen very often. But we've had a couple of instances of it happening.
What is the strangest thing ever pulled out?
Honestly, we had a patient come in, and he had been in long-term care. He'd had surgery years and years and years before, and when we finished the cremation, we pulled out a 9-inch pair of forceps from the inside of him that were left in that they had no idea were in there.
From surgery?
From surgery, probably 10 to 15 years earlier.
And he had no idea they were there.
No clue.
Now, did you give those to family, or do you just hang them? I'd hang them on the wall.
We did take pictures of them because it's so unusual to find that. But we did offer it to the family. The family was like, no.
Geez, I don't even know, like, if I'd want to know that, you know, my mom or dad had something
forceps in them.
For 15 years.
Yeah, like, well, Dad always was complaining about that dang pain. Seriously.
I know.
It could be the end of a mystery, right? Okay, so really, there are witnesses. Do you ever get many of those witnesses to crematory, to cremations?
We'll probably get about 10 or 15 a year that want to get.
Wow. I'm Tom Martino. You've heard from Abbott. FuneralServices.com. We really appreciate them being so candid about all of this. Anyway, for help, information, and referrals, you know what I'm going to tell you. Referralist.com and save all your problems.
Great guess.
At Real Tom Martino.
And stay connected with all of us
At 630 KHOW.
KHOW.com.
And on the iHeartRadio app.
Michael Brown is next
On Denver's Talk Station.
630 KHOW.
You've heard me talk about investments. Now, obviously, I'm not going for the get-rich-quick crazy stuff. I like good, solid, conservative investments with guaranteed returns. And you can't really, you can't publish or advertise guaranteed unless it really is. Become the Banker is. It's a guaranteed return, tax-free, of 4% plus a 1% dividend.
Yeah,
and all you...
Yep.
Damn, I should have used that.
How come you didn't come in with the Addams family at all?
You guys must hear that once in a while.
No, never.
How long have you been doing it?
6 years.
Because you were both in different industries.
Well, we've owned our own company for 6 years. We've been in the industry for over 2.
I've worked for all the big companies.
You were in the name